Welcome to Food Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome.
Alright, I'm just going to check if it sounds weird.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the stream.
Yeah, I can hear it.
About to happen, you can hear it?
Yeah.
I can't hear it unless it's not working.
Are you opening your beer with a key?
Yep. Well, technically I'm opening it up with a Swiss Army key.
Okay.
What?
Nice. Swiss Army key.
Wow, that's cool.
We've got an infinite recursion going on. Alright, we good?
Do we?
I mean that it's going to because it's on that.
Yeah,
So it's done on there.
That's really cool.
Hello, people out there. Welcome.
Welcome. Busy?
We're getting there.
We're just fantastic dick says. That'll be there for next time.
Sorry.
There we go.
Okay. I think we're good. I think we're live. Hello? Yes? Welcome to Black Winter Nights. Here on the D20 Multiverse with myself, Oliver, Dungeon Master, and my lovely players, the Black Winter Nights. We'd like to say welcome, thank you. You guys are awesome. We've got a couple of announcements that we'll just run through, and then essentially we'll just get into this thing. Because that's what we're here for, right? D&D. So we're beaming out of Wellington, New Zealand, and we're here tonight to bring you this next instalment of the adventure. We'd love to thank Mysterion, one of our new followers. Hi, Mysterion! Hi! Thanks for following! And we'd like to dedicate this episode to Leonard55. You're an absolute legend. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome to Black Winter Nights. I might even name an NPC after you. I don't know. I feel very enamoured. We also have an email that has been sent to us that we will read out in the break. So look forward to that. Of course, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Discord. We're on all of these things now. There's a Discord link down below, I assume, or somewhere. Yep. Facebook.
Once you join it, you'll know.
Ha 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 ha. I did join it. I'm sure I did. So jump on our Discord channel if you want to chat and all that kind of stuff. Of course, we've got Facebook now, the D20 Multiverse, where you can see us posting memes and quotes and stuff from the different games that we play, and sometimes I'll just post random stuff there as well. We've got Dave, aka Stefan from Eyes of Alicia, the other game set in my world, Alicia, who's in the chat fielding questions and stuff. I don't know. I've got it open as well, so I can watch myself and the other things.
That's not egotistical.
No, that's not egotistical at all. God, my hair's looking on point today. Wow.
On fleek, I think
you're on fleek.
On fleek.
We have a surprise announcement, apparently.
A surprise announcement. It's pretty much we've been working on a few pictures.
Yep.
For the cast, and we've just got Shiver and Fate completed. So people in the chat will be able to see it.
Cool.
And I'll show these guys for the first time as well.
Lovely. So our wonderful artist Olivia, who plays Maple in the other game, Eyes of Alicia, has been drawing very cool character portraits for all our players. We really appreciate that, Olivia. Thank you so much.
This is what it looks like.
Ooh!
And that's what we've got.
I love that one.
Isn't that amazing?
That's me.
Oh shit,
That's so
awesome.
Yeah.
They're all
Oh,
coloured and
look at
shit.
So that'll be next to your name from now on.
Alright.
Yeah.
And eventually we'll get everyone's done. I've seen a few drafts for the other cast members.
That's right. So that's all work in progress, but that'll be completed soon, hopefully. Thank you, Olivia. You're a legend.
I'm sorry to change your character, I still know this.
Cool. So that's, I think, all the announcements that we want to do for now. Thank you, Mysterion, our new follower, and thanks to Leonard55 because you're just a legend. Welcome to the show tonight. We know you're in there in the chat waiting for this, and we appreciate that. Cool. So, we're down one Gorstag tonight, by the way. He is in Christchurch, in the south. Too far of a commute. I did request, but apparently he's not spending $200 on flights. So, the party.
That's not dedicated.
And how much is battle cam for reference?
Yes, exactly. If you do want to donate for us to get a battle cam, we need a 4th webcam so we can show you battle maps and that kind of stuff. There's ways to donate that you can see around. Anyway, let's get into tonight's episode of the Blackwinter Nights. So, the party, upon returning to Blackwinter Castle, their task from an Ashback, the Dwarven King, to investigate Lord Nyeth, the demon wannabe sweeping coast of Ukas, the west coast. In his terror of rain, he had built a castle around the rift that had opened from the Nine Hells, and a whole bunch of evil kind of creatures had swarmed to his side through the use of a lot of platinum and a man called Lord Moonskull, who the party had previously destroyed. Mm-hmm. He was planning on taking over essentially the world. However, he did not bank on the fact that this brave group of adventurers would band their swords and staffs and bows together and create to create an unstoppable force that swept, killed, and liquefied Lord Nyeth using some heat spells. He eventually melted into plastic and flesh. And upon returning were gifted by Thrum and Ashback, the Dwarven King, their very own ship, which they are yet to name, but please do.
And we lost one of our number.
Of course, what I was about to get to. Zook, the wonderful gnome tinkerer, who had saved the party on more than one occasion. The kind-hearted gnome, who often led with compassion and wisdom, decided that his place would be better set in the newly constructed Mages Guild, the Zook Institute, in Blackwinter Castle, overseeing their operations and running the business, essentially, of the channels of the arcane. Thrum and Ashback, the Dwarven King, was more than happy to have you rule this part of his kingdom, as he trusts you implicitly. And Zook wanders beyond the horizon with the party no more, not for now. But then we got introduced to Orthanc, the Half-Orc captain of this new ship. And that is where the scene begins tonight. So, you guys are standing at the open walls of the back of Blackwinter Castle, which essentially is a hidden kind of cove that only a few know about. You stand with Thrum and Ashback, who in the absence of conversation for the last 30 seconds has taken to drinking small amounts of rum and such from his jacket, because hey, it's Thrum. And the sun is maybe mid-sky as the beautiful glinting waters stretch out to the horizons in front of you. You can still hear back in the castle the ringing sounds of celebration during the Festival of the Everstar. A wonderful celebration held once every 50 years for the last 2,000 years, dating back well beyond the age of dragons. The sky is dusted with a few white clouds, but mostly clear. There's birdsong and more ale than you can drink even here, as people kind of wander through drunkenly, looking for a place to piss. And that is where we start tonight. So, my wonderful players, you now stand before your very own ship with this half-orc burly creature wandering down the gangplank and Thrum quite happily drinking rum from his jacket. What do you guys do?
I walk up to Thrum and clasp his hand and shake him. My king!
Lovely to see you, Orthanc.
Good to see you again.
Would you like a drink?
Of course, always.
He throws you a small vial of white liquid.
I'm not going to ask what that was.
You don't want to know.
Excellent.
Well, I believe that thanks are in order. Thank you for agreeing to take my ragband attack party, the Blackwinter Nights, on your journey. Obviously, I trust in your navigation skills to keep them safe.
Least I can do after you help me.
Of course. Watch this one. Specifically, watch your gold around this one.
She'll be the first overboard.
Do you have a
Please.
gang tank?
I'm walking down. Well, I've walked off.
Yeah. The ship is lightly bobbing in the bay. It's quite nice. The sides are mahoganies and oaks with silver trims and iron bolts. It looks like it can withstand a decent amount. Thrum addresses the party, finishing something that he tucks inside his jacket and sways briefly. So, set sail. The Talon Isles await. Stay alive. Bring back all the information you can. I expect to see you back within the week. Stay safe.
What information specific were we looking for again?
So, recently there's been a hive of activity off the Talon Isles. Creatures have been flocking inexplicably, and there's been, let's just say, Cigna's attunement to the web of Arcane, some kind of disturbance there. I fear that something is amassing. The likes of this kind of energy, generally when concentrated in a single area, do not mean good things for the world of Elysia. I simply wish to know what's happening in this faraway place. Myself finds that I must oversee the Festival of the Everstar.
Of course.
Yes, of course. There's much ale to be drunk, much wine to be tasted.
And who better to do it than you?
Exactly! My thoughts.
Who's the current inhabitants of this island? I'm assuming there's going to be people there that we're getting this information from.
People, yes. Very few actually return from the Talon Isles.
Oh, great.
But it is known to be a place of the Dragonborn. The last stronghold, the safe haven, the sanctuary of those who, sadly, have faced a lot of discrimination in life.
I spit and say scaly fucks.
As you can see. However, they've done no harm as of late. I merely wish to know what's happening way out there. Oh! Be wary of pirates. Don't listen to the songs, either. I must return. Enjoy. And he stretches and does something. You just hear a couple of vertebrae pop. He kind of... Bon voyage! If that's all you need. And he staggers for a while. Then he comes back, realising he's gone the wrong way, and staggers off. You now stand before the ship. Orthanc, the captain, stands beside you. Quite a hulking creature. Big scar down one of the sides, bald head. Armour's... What kind of armour are you wearing?
Breastplate.
Breastplate armour, probably quite thick. But
Oh,
probably...
sorry, scale mail.
Scale mail. Cool. Scale mail, dented in places, I would assume. And, yeah, heavy-footed, he kind of... as he steps.
Difficult to swim if you go overboard.
Yeah.
I'm on land.
So, Nigel, was it? I'm fake. Good to
We
meet
have
you.
time to kiss and make up on board. Come on. On you sit. Is that all you've got with you?
It is, I believe.
Yes.
You guys are carrying
Let's
simply
make
the items
Ah.
and weapons that
Oh,
you
well,
have.
falling in love. There's also a couple of other passages that King Throman is particularly enamoured with. A very small and incredibly tame wolf, and a
Small bird.
Yeah. Tweet and Cap'n are both with Shiver, his wolf and bird.
As long as they don't mind
Listen, but-
ale and they can swim, they'll be fine.
Pretty sure that's no problem. Wolves can totally live on ale, right?
Is it
the only thing to drink on your ship?
Well, there's the ocean, but yes.
very nice.
You hear Thrummond's voice like way off in the distance. Don't drink the seawater!
A wise man, then.
Captain's with us right now, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so in the middle of this, I actually get down and actually say, you happy? Come with? Water?
Yes, please!
Okay, cool. Pat. Can we make a stop off in Duskin before we go?
My ship is at your disposal, as per the king's commands.
Does
Excellent.
this ship have a name?
No, the second command was that you come up with a name.
I would like to honour our dear and beloved king with his name of this ship. Something along the lines of the Throbbin'. A mighty
the
vessel it
Ashback.
is. Throbbin' Bearback.
Okay. So,
No,
It is settled then.
It's
Robin.
With Robin Bearback.
Let's not be hasty about it.
you guys can think on the name if you want. You don't have to go with an L.
Perhaps after a little bit of voyaging and we get a bit more of a feel for this beautiful ship of yours.
And a lot more
we
ale.
can think of something a lot more appropriate.
Well, appropriate.
At this point, Orthanc leads you guys onto the ship, and after some time, you've got a crew of about 5 or 6 on this boat. Most of them are human. You do have one halfling, quite young, but a couple of them look like they're no strangers to the nautical life. They seem to know what they're doing. Orthanc commands their regiment with authority, harsh authority, some would say. As these guys go about their business, setting sails and whatnot. You guys are heading to Luskin, is that correct?
Duskin.
Duskin, yeah. No, yeah, what's Duskin? Yeah, copyright. And you guys, essentially, once you're all on the ship, you hear the ding, 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 which effectively signals docking, and the ship pulls away from the edge of the western coast of Ucas. After some clever direction by Orthanc, the sails are adjusted to a point where the wind picks up, the sails full, and off you sail to the north.
Shiver is completely enamored by this. Its life, always been in forests.
Yeah.
Always been surrounded by animals. It's the first time ever that this has not been the case. Not even nature is really here, or rather, the only bit of nature that is here is what been slaughtered, preserved, reshaped, and formed into now a floating vessel. So, just right up the front, looking over and just trying to peer down into the water and see the different animals that are down there.
Ooh.
Each time just thinking, ooh, fluffy!
Yeah. Okay, that would be perception, please.
Alright.
Let's see what
That
you can
can do
see with your druid eyes.
Looking at animals underwater and going fluffy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything's fluffy.
Yeah. Not only are you one of the first, this is your first time on the seas, this is the first time of any of the members of the Unending Moon to ever travel that you are aware of. What did you roll for yours?
10.
10, okay. So mostly you see dark shapes moving at speed, great speed, and you do manage to see a group of smaller, little tiny shapes kind of disappear as well. You do notice that most of them are going under the ship and off to the west.
I walk up next to Shiver and start throwing up uncontrollably.
Yeah.
Now that I'm seasick already with my
roll
for Constitution.
2 Constitution. Yeah, everyone roll Constitution, please.
Oh, awesome.
Oh boy, I hope I don't
Were
throw
we
up.
supposed to do that? Or...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got 11.
Put a 6.
Okay.
7.
18.
Okay. Some of you you've got advantage. You've got advantage.
Okay, good. I was inspired by the rest of you. That's a 19.
There we go. So, Dain, sure-footed, stands on the ship, no worries. Shiver kind of hugs, a bit green around the gills. Fate, you're okay. Arkyan, over the side, and it's actually quite a nice day for sailing. Your ship picks speed at a decent amount until one of the sails becomes the rope attaching to the scales becomes undone and starts flapping to the side, and one of the sails kind of is now off its hoist.
Can I mage hand the rope?
Yeah, you sure can. So, Arkyan sees this and just this beautiful. What colour is your mage hand? Blue. This skeletal, I want to say, blue hand appears and just gently ties it back, and the ship gains speed once more, heading north. Fantastic. So, I want everyone to make perception, please.
I got a 1. That 1.
23.
Oh,
7.
okay.
I'm not using my good eye.
10.
6.
6.
Should be
Shiver.
It's just a scar. I can't really.
As Shiver is at the side of the boat, peering over, going, oh, fish! Oh, more fish! It's right over there as well! Kind of thing. And the rest of the party, well, some of you are throwing up, some of you are just enjoying the journey. You look to the horizon towards the north. And you can see the coast of Ucas to the right. And Blackwind Castle, you can now see the outside of the walls, built during the Age of Dragons. And you can kind of know where Luskin is. It's a while away, not too far. A couple of hours. But right on the horizon to the north, for a second, there's a couple of clouds, like way out there. And for a brief moment, you see what just looks like this weird, almost like triangular, like just black shadow that just goes and vanishes.
Is this over the water? Or...
No, this is over the land.
No, this is over the water.
It's over the water.
Far to the north.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll look around and just check if anyone else has seen this.
No one did.
Alright, I'll point it out to everybody.
It's not there
It's
anymore.
really more.
There's just
I
shadows.
tell everybody.
Yeah.
This
It was
is
a bit
whaling
fluffy.
country. I wouldn't be too worried.
Okay.
Eventually, after some time, you go past. You can actually kind of see some of the high road from where you are, and Neverwinter Woods. Blackwinter Woods. Got it right. And you kind of see like the familiar trees. A lot of you spend a lot of time in that forest, really, as a group. In fact, wasn't that where you undertook your first quest? Where
Isn't it where we
was
took
from?
just about every question?
Yeah. However, now you see it vanishing behind you as you reach forth towards dusk. Ding, 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 as you come into close. Of course, this is a port city, so you have to kind of like, Orthanc has to do some quite clever manoeuvring to get the ship in between a lot of the other ships. And the trades are going wild at this time because it's the Festival of the Everstar. So not only do we have like ales and stuff being brought at Fromen's request from all around the world of Elysia, but you've also got other wonderful things that are for sale, and silks and flowers and metallic items and such. So as you arrive to Luskan, you see a couple of the monks of Palor, from the Temple of Palor, undergoing new roles as they run around trying to manage this huge influx of ships. And as your ship docks and poof, the game plan gets put down, this little gnomish type character with white beard like runs up to you and goes, "Yes, buying, selling, what?
I'm the captain here, but what is our business here?
Collecting. Collecting scales. Now, previously we vanquished the sea drake.
I put a hand on Shiver's shoulder and I pull out the mark that they gave us, the cloak.
Ah, yes.
And I say, what was her name?
The
mayor?
Oh, the mayor.
Bring us the mayor. Please, kind sir.
He looks at his like scrolls and pen and just throws them aside and runs off into Tuscan.
Good man.
He returns a few minutes later with the man.
Oh, yeah. What was her name?
Is this the one that Gorstag, they had a crush on Gorstag?
Yeah.
It was Lasari or something?
That's right. She was in the temple, and then when we got
Gorstag's
back to town-
girlfriend.
Gorstag's
Gorstag's girlfriend.
Let's
Yeah.
just call it Al for now.
Al for now.
Yeah,
All right.
because I can't remember.
So, Alpha now, it's good to see you again.
Wonderful. And she's just staring at Gorstag.
How is the blue drake that we asked you to not drake, sea serpent?
Ah, yes. Dralexia.
Dralaxia.
We've managed to break it down to regents.
Component perhaps? Excellent,
Yes,
excellent.
It took some time.
So, I would like to see what we have in that, and whether or not I could order some of those scales to be turned into a set of scale mail.
Of course, we can do that. Although most of our group are quite busy with the festival. 5-6 days.
5-6 days?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be back by then, right? Takes a week. Excellent.
Very well. I should
In the
write that
meantime,
down.
I need a set of studded leather armor. Where can I get that real quick right now?
One of the giants that was lovely watching over Duskin was able to start, made us start, a small blacksmither. He can surely help you with that.
Excellent. Okay, cool.
What happened with those
that's why I'm
giants? I'm
I'll be
curious
right back.
to know.
Cool.
Shiver disappears into Duskin. The giants. What, they stood guard for a couple of days? Eventually we ran out of ale and they left.
Oh, okay. But, everyone was still alive and the town was standing?
Nothing has attacked us since you left.
Awesome. I turned around and high-fived Dain because you're the only one that was there.
Yeah.
Success!
Okay, Shiver, you find your way to an elderly priest of the Temple of Palor way out of his depth trying to blacksmith.
Alright.
Like, normally when you walk into a blacksmith, you hear there's a black smoke acrid in the air, there's tons of heat from the furnace, and there's that clanging sound of metal on metal. Instead, now you've got this guy who's kind of like just poking this bit of metal.
Alright. Hi,
Hello!
Hi.
Sorry.
I was wondering if you could help me. I have, looking at my clothes, armor. I need a studded version of the same thing.
Sure, that's simple. Probably.
You don't have any on hand? It's just that my ship's waiting for me and we kind of need to go.
Oh, yes, no, I do, sorry. Gnomish size. Oh,
Yeah, if possible.
One sec. He pulls out a blade and just cuts a large section off and then just ties it. Sorry.
Excellent, that's good, that'll do. Thank you.
It's not the prettiest, but it effectively is studded leather armor.
I'm the prettiest, I'll make it pretty. How much is that?
For you, 20 gold.
Excellent, hand that over.
He takes it. Wow. It's actually the first gold I've made in this job.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
You feel good?
Yeah.
It is gold.
Oh, no, I don't mean to be distrustful.
Okay.
I'm just a distrustful person. He puts it away.
Okay.
Is there anything else you require?
Right now, I believe that's it. Unless you want to buy some leather armor.
Sure.
All right.
He just hands the same gold back.
Awesome. Good.
You can tell that business acumen is not his strength either.
Excellent.
Cool.
All right.
He
I
goes back to
now,
poking the metal on the table.
presumably naked, make my way back.
He watches you as you leave, but he's still poking the metal on the table.
All right. I shake my booty at him.
He has to sit down after that. Cool. So Duskin is erupted. People running back and forth, carts and things being unloaded. There's actually a small group of monks who are saying a chant, a prayer to Paladin. And as they do, you guys do notice that the clouds kind of clear and the sun comes out a bit more. And they all kind of knowingly look at each other and nod. And head back inside the temples. What are the rest of you guys doing?
If that gnomish older gentleman is still there,
Yeah.
I'd like to see this beast, the scales of which have been procured. I'd like to see that, if that's okay.
Sure. Well, most of it's being pulled apart. But follow me. He leads you towards the Temple of Paladin.
I'd like to tag along as well.
Yeah, sure. What do you guys do?
We're still at the boat, waiting
Cool.
for everyone to finish up their stuff. So.
Cool. You guys get to the Temple of Paladin, which has undergone some changes. Notably, the top of the structure of the building has had stuff added to it, seemingly from giant work. As you can see, that the nails and stuff essentially added like rooms to the top of the Temple of Paladin. Inside, he leads you down into a little basement type area where you've got a table with maybe 20 fangs arranged in size that were inside the mouth of Dralexia the Storm Serpent. And then you've got the bluish kind of hard scales on the wall. They look like they're kind of drying or being treated or that kind of thing. And motions around. And he pulls out like a little barrel, maybe about that big. He says, poison we were able to extract.
Ooh, yes.
You're not
You're not there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes!
Yeah.
Voice in the back of my head, yeah.
I tend to say, Stephen, have you ever dealt with this kind of creature before on your trips across the ocean?
I have actually. I walk up to one of the fangs, pick it up and look at it. This creature killed a few of my shipmates not too long ago.
You're welcome then. We're the ones that killed it.
You.
It was a mighty battle. Indeed.
You.
A good friend of mine.
He was present.
Well, if that is the case, then we have nothing to fear on our voyage coming up. I wanted to pay respects to an old enemy.
Mm.
I throw the tooth across the room and walk out.
It clatters to the floor, and the older gnomish character kind of looks a bit offset by that, and that thing just.
Are any of the parts giving off any form of magical aura?
The fangs kind of do a little bit. Yeah. These guys will inform you that Dralexia the Storm Serpent was this massive snake-like creature that attacked them while they were on a ship off the coast of Duskin that could summon powerful storms
Oh, awesome.
to attack enemies.
Cool. I look at the Cleric of Palor and I say, do you have all of these teeth accounted for already? Like, do you have plans for every single one of them?
Well, such regions can be quite valuable. We intended to sell and put the money back into the temple.
Ha, well, it's quite interesting that you are selling something you did not slay yourself.
We did leave it in your
From what I
care.
understand,
See-
the scales were supposed to be used to craft a suit of armor. However, the rest of the ingredients I'm not too sure of.
I think it's getting a bit late. I should probably.
Cool. Well, I'm just going to take one of these teeth.
Okay.
You didn't slide either.
He doesn't know that.
I'm going to walk up to him and requisition a bone-left gauntlet of bleached white bone, like the white of Torm.
The craftsmanship on that was a bit more difficult, but yes, we can.
Yep. And a javelin of a fang.
Cool.
Nice. Yeah, how big are the fangs?
So they range from maybe about that big to about that big. So the bigger ones were at the front, and then the smaller ones at the back.
Okay.
I'd like to help myself to the poison with whatever vials I have. I'm assuming it's pretty potent.
Yeah, you can extract. Well, how many vials do you have?
Well, I have one small vial of poison that I've previously used, and I had a minor potion, and I had his bloodshot.
Okay.
Right, I want to take the biggest fang.
Okay. Can you roll persuasion or intimidation? Your choice to take this in this round.
That is a luck with a different dice.
I pull out the symbol again.
60.
Oh, there you go.
Cool. Yeah. That was expensive. It's a lot of gold.
I smile at him.
Very well. If that's all you need, and he runs up the stairs at top speed.
I take another one. I'll just take the one really big one.
Cool. Go.
I say amateur. How much poison do
Some
I
take
extract?
what we need, not what we can.
Yeah, Gorstag's here, right?
Basically, you need vials in which to carry it. So if you want to take 3 vials worth, you'd have to empty what's in those 3 vials and replace it with that.
Oh, I had an empty vial, so I'll just take one vial.
Okay. You got 1 vial of Storm Serpent Venom.
Badass.
Yes, very badass. So that could be, if you wished, applied to arrow tips, daggers, all that kind of stuff.
Pretty much that one, yep.
Nice, nice. As the party rejoins each other, you're back at the ship. What are you guys doing? Standing outside by the harbour.
Arthur, shall we set sail?
You remember when I said you'd be the first overboard?
I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. What was it?
Orthanc.
Orthanc, thank you, thank you. I will try, but I promise nothing.
And your name, One?
I'm Fate. Fate Callista. Pleased to meet you.
Who told you about the horns?
Oh shit!
No, they grew back. I checked. We had a long rest.
You guys,
I'm beautiful again.
at this point, you guys notice that Gorstag is eyes completely white, staring at the sky.
Is there something wrong with that one?
Oh.
No, it's just high.
Okay.
I walk over and slap him. If you do that on board my ship, you will have people killed!
Okay, roll intimidation with advantage.
Okay.
He got a nat 1, so unless you roll 2 nat 1.
He's already got it.
Wow, I rolled 6 twice. It's still 12 though.
Wow! That's some serious intimidation. Sorry! Sorry!
So, what did you see? What did he tell you?
This rift closed. Another one opened.
The rift we left behind? Oh, good!
Oh, awesome.
Is the other one in the Isles, perchance?
No, the rift of Pelor closed.
Oh.
And another one opened.
Where? What is the rift of Paladin?
A while ago, we were here in Duskin when we heard strange stories of a blue and white light off the northern coasts. Managed to request a ship. When we got there, it was a gift. Gift of a god.
It could charge gems with his powers. That was really cool. They're like valuable as shit.
Cool.
Pick out one.
Very light
Yeah.
powers. Yeah.
It was a tourist trap. Very lucrative for us.
Yeah, nice.
The rift is closed forever, but I saw the opening of another one. A red rift.
Another rift of Pelor?
Nah, didn't feel like it. It didn't feel good at all.
Did it feel or look like the other rift that we've seen?
Not the one in Knight's Castle. This one was impossible. You feel the rift. Staring at it, I could feel its vibration. It was panic. It was danger. But I couldn't. It was a black forest. I can't see it anymore in my head.
Did you see anything go in or come out of the rift?
Just a whisper. In a language I don't know.
Do you remember what was the sounds were?
Did it sound like a serpent, perhaps?
No. It sounded like almost like the chants that I heard as a boy growing up in the Temple of Pelor. It was rhythmic, but not of a good light. I don't know.
It's Fletch.
Alright.
That's horrifying. Thank you.
Cool.
That's really useful. Thanks,
You
Gorstag.
you notice at this point that Al comes up to Gorstag and taps him on the shoulder, and they go away and have a conversation.
I sit there and snicker.
So, what are you guys doing?
I'm waiting for the short dopey one to come back so that we can
It's
leave.
now about like 3-4 in the afternoon.
Right.
Took like an hour or so to get there, and then an hour or so to do your things.
I'm already back.
Go.
No, I mean Gorstag because he was going.
Gorstag returns after about 20 minutes with Al, and he comes back and he's kind of like you can tell he's like doing his like just make himself look good. You can see a big red like lipstick mark on his cheek that he.
I prestidigitated back on his face.
Good.
I look up and I look up at him
Yeah.
and say, "Dude, work on your stamina."
I'm actually just going to roll to see how he did.
Wow.
A 3. No.
Oh,
That's,
that's
his
no.
first time. I don't know.
On
Anyway.
the back, I'll teach you better. We'll get there, buddy. We'll
Oh,
get
man.
there.
How long have we been streaming? How much? It didn't take long to get into that, right? So,
Wait, Fate, you're giving classes?
You can pay. That's a high fee.
I don't think anyone can afford you.
wow.
Smart man.
Excellent. Cool, so it's now about 3-4 in the afternoon. You guys are standing back towards your ship in the harbours of Duskin, which is in full trade mode, as ships and such are going. Basically, the ringing of the bells of docking ships is almost constant. There's just ships like drifting off and coming back.
Alright, do we have everything for real this time? Can we depart?
I think so.
Alright, well, we're getting our sea legs, we're going far off land. I encourage you, and you, Opponent Gorstag, not to wear heavy armour. If you do go overboard, no one's going to be able to get you back.
Cool. Yeah, Gorstag takes off his heavy armour at your bequest.
Yeah, and I do the same and stow it in the captain's quarters.
Cool.
And then rally up the crew, shout out to the halfling who I assume is in the crow's nest at all times,
Yep.
and then we set sail.
Excellent. Ding, 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 ding. You guys set out of the port of Duskin. After maybe, about an hour or so, the coast of Ukast becomes a small pinprick off in the distance. In fact, you can now see the entirety of the west coast of Ukast as it disappears into the horizon. It's not a huge continent. It's large enough. It's one of the greatest, considered to be one of the royal hubs, I suppose. The most concentration of castles in a single continent is probably Ukast. Can anyone roll history, please?
No.
17.
Same.
4.
6. That's my
11.
third 6 in a row.
Dain. There are certain points of Ukast that you can see from this vantage point that you haven't seen before. Namely, the southwest of Ukast. And you can see rather large stone structures. Almost like a castle. Something strange. A strange collection of buildings towards the very south of Ukast that you've not travelled there yourself. But as you stare at it, you kind of go in your head through the stories. And you remember there used to be a tale where a second island was at the south of Ukast. And during a great calamity, there was a rift of energy that had opened up and split this castle in two. And that other part of the island had drifted off, down, never to be seen again. And your mind kind of wonders, I wonder if that's the place from the stories. But after some time, and the sun dips below the horizon, and the two moons, Evo and Vo, bright pink, come out. They're not quite full, but they're close. They're kind of haloed in light, and the stars come out. It's a beautifully clear night. They kind of blink down, stars in the skies.
Do I know how long it would take to sail from Duskin to the Isles?
To the Talon Isles?
Yes.
Yes. 2 to 3 days, depending on the week.
Right, okay.
So if we have to be back in a week and it takes us 3 days to get there, we have 1 day to collect information and be back?
Won't have to be back, it's just it's going to be ready in 6 days, so we'll be later.
Yeah, Thrummond is...
You probably won't remember
Yeah,
what he said
exactly.
anyway. Yeah, right.
If he's still alive. The assassin's on.
He has drunk
If we
himself
still
to death.
have
He has essentially said be back. I suppose as soon as you can, kind of thing, with the week, but it's not. It's not like if you show up in 7 days instead of 6, he's going to cut your hair off.
Yeah, tap sundown.
He's staying there tapping his foot.
He just sinks the ship when you get there. Yeah, after some time, sun disappears, night falls. Everyone roll perception, Shiver with advantage.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Not that good.
17.
I was so hoping you all rolled natural
You
20.
guys have the eyes as well.
So-
What's going on here?
This side of the table. As you go, you're kind of noting that occasionally you see fins and stuff come out of the water. Nothing too ominous, nothing that looks like shark or anything. Orthanc, obviously you're more acquainted with the ways of the sea. But far
I'm
off...
checking out all of these animals.
Yeah,
Every single one that goes by.
that's why I gave you advantage. You notice that towards... I suppose if you're this way to the north but to your right...
Yep, starboard.
Yeah. Stop. Thank you. Yeah. You can see the ocean is actually running in a strange circular current.
I shout out Maelstrom.
Okay.
How far away is it?
Pretty much 150 feet.
Holy shit. Okay, I yell out to the crew to get prepared and start veering us away.
Okay. What would that be? A roll for? Sleight of hand? To manipulate the sails?
Yeah, okay, sure.
Okay.
Charisma to make everyone do what they need to do as soon as possible.
His crew will just do whatever it is immediately. And as you say, they all jump into action. Some of which were like scrubbing the deck, just throw that aside and run and start attending to everything. Yeah.
Did you want me to make a check of some sort?
Yeah, I'm not sure. What will maybe strength to try and change the sails or
Athletics to pull the ship or something?
I assume, is the captain also the helmsman?
So then it would be strength to steer.
It's only a
And
crew
everything
of
else
like
happens.
6,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would assume your captain would be the helmsman.
Yeah.
That would be strength for to
Yeah.
actually turn the steering wheel.
Yeah,
Sure.
strength. Yeah.
18?
Cool. And you do. The wind itself is kind of pushing you in that direction, but as you just churn this like wheel, you eventually manage to veer out. The current going in a circle is now growing larger and larger, essentially vortexing.
What is the weather of the sky doing, and are we far from... I guess we're really far from land now, aren't we?
You are.
Okay. Does
We
the
can really
weather appear to be doing
strong
anything odd? I mean, it's not,
There,
but...
it's night. There are a couple of clouds, a couple of dark
There's
clouds.
already several strong ones.
As you look up, you see
I
a
don't have it memorized.
couple of birds fly overhead, but certainly nothing that would indicate Dralexia or anything like that.
Right, okay. This is a sticky situation. Is everyone, like, on deck at this point?
Yeah. I would say
Okay.
so, yeah.
And everyone's aware?
Yeah.
Okay, and does it look like we're heading towards the actual...
No, so you've managed to turn and start going this way.
Okay.
But this like swirling water is now it's getting closer and closer as it vortexes out.
Okay.
So it's growing faster than that we're sailing, essentially.
At the moment, you guys are about neck and neck. You're traveling this way. It's chasing your tail.
Alright, while I'm, wrestling the fucking wheel trying to steer us, I yell out, alright, Snake Slayers, if you have anything that can help, now's the time.
I can levitate myself.
I've never been out on a boat before. This isn't normal.
This is very well.
Is the maelstrom growing, or is the maelstrom coming after us?
Growing.
Growing, okay. Is this like usual weather behavior for this part of the world, or do we think something fishy is up?
I haven't sailed this quite far off land in a while. That sentence in the wrong order was.
There's something fishy going on at sea.
Wait.
For no reason whatsoever, I get my returning dagger and I throw it into the maelstrom.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the first time you've used it, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it vanishes into the ocean, bloop, and then there's like this shimmer. It's almost like suddenly someone sprinkled glitter on your hilt as it just materializes.
Woo! Dead. Okay, so nothing happened. Cool.
Nope.
We can't stab the water guys.
How wide is the maelstrom?
By now, about 200 feet wide.
Okay. The only thing I can do is create and destroy water.
How much water can you
That's dangerous.
There's like a cubic foot or something.
Yeah, 30 feet.
Really?
Cube.
Sick.
Shit.
So, that is... What level spell is that? I'm just thinking what I could actually do with this.
You could make us like turn hard out if you destroy water under one side. We could like
Lean and get away.
It's not a cantrip, it's not right.
No, it's not a cantrip. Could destroy water is level 1. So, I've got 4 spell slots available. I could destroy up to, what would that be, 120 cubic feet of water.
Yeah.
Across like
So-
30 seconds, yeah.
Yeah, we could at least...
no, you can do 30 gallons of water.
that's bigger.
No, create destroy water.
Or create or store water, never mind.
Alternatively, you can destroy... Wait, fog.
You can destroy,
You destroy 10
10
gallons.
gallons of water
In an open
in
container.
a 30-foot
Oh, that's not going to work then. Damn it.
You can see Shiver's mind like ticking as all these like thoughts go through
High levels.
her head. It's just. I need you to make strength.
That's still only 10 additional.
Natural 20.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, cool. After some time, you manage to figure, using your navigation knowledge, you manage to figure that there's a certain angle you can put the sails to the wind that pulls you close to this thing, but allows you to turn and use its own energy and to get away from it.
Right.
And after some time of just like purely like just turning these rudders as your crew watch you intently.
I'm screaming profanities at them the whole time.
Excellent. One of them wets themselves. As it goes along, you manage to pull away and sail far enough to this thing, and it seemingly is not gaining any ground on you. You've managed to get away from it.
Do we have someone who's like a dedicated cartographer or someone on board who can recognize where we are and navigate by the stars? Because I want to try and remember where this area is so we do not come back through.
The halfling in the crow's nest is an amateur cartographer.
Okay, okay, well then I'll...
You shout to him and he pulls out like a whole bunch of essentially like napkins and stuff that he's drawn star charts on and just kind of, notes an area.
Better than nothing, good lad.
Yeah. So, what do you guys, anything else? No, you guys are sailing, it's maybe midnight? Very dark at night, glimmering, stars shining. If you want to take a long rest, you can.
I walk around making puns about semen, just making everyone uncomfortable. Okay,
roll whatever you want.
Performance. I'm gonna do performance.
Whatever you want.
Oh, I got a natural 1. Wow. Really bad joke.
Yeah.
Probably like puke as you get to the punchline.
Will you forget the punchline? It's just drawn out.
I tried talking there, it's like,
yeah.
I want to spend every moment of the trip that we are not doing something.
Yeah.
As in like talking to you essentially.
Yeah.
Or asleep.
Yeah.
I want to spend half my time pumping as much power as I can into this eye.
Cool. The evident eye?
No, my
Right.
my eye.
Yeah.
Because Alexia said that the more I put into it, the more I get out of it. So I'm just going to try and pump all my spell slots in there at the end of every night.
Cool.
And the other half of the time I want to spend with this amateur cartographer.
Cool.
And learn something about star charts and stuff.
Cool.
Thanks, Dave.
I lost my...
You know me so well.
Ooh, hungry.
Okay, I had something but I lost it. Forget it.
How embarrassing on screen.
Cool, so roll
you,
Arcana for your eye.
Arcana is a 13.
Cool. So you get this sense as you're trying to like pump energy into this eye. You can feel that it. Pump that eye. Thanks, Aiden. Yeah. So as you kind of like pump this energy into it, like essentially what you're doing is you're focusing. There was a story you'd read, or a way of channeling energy. And essentially, it was that you would take every part of your being and imagine it as a ball of light floating in front of you. And you feed yourself into that ball of light until it grows and grows and grows. And once nothing is left within you, that ball of light can then traverse the universe, essentially. So what you're trying to do is use that same method, but instead of focusing on a ball of light, you focus on your eye. You try and put all your being and all your energies and all that kind of stuff into the eye. The eye seems receptacle. It seems almost like quicksand. Everything that you throw into it just seems to be taking all your thoughts, all your energies, all your motivations. It seems to be listening, just absorbing all that energy of yourself. Until after maybe 3-4 hours of focusing on this, uninterrupted, when you guys are just clear sailing, you can almost feel like your heartbeat, you have 2 heartbeats, one that gives and one that takes. And it creates this kind of harmony until you feel a bit more attuned to it,
Cool.
Yeah.
Can I go to like a place when everybody else is doing shit, like a cabin, and touch my wall?
Sure. You can.
Yay! Cool, I'll do that.
Why am I not surprised?
Made everyone else feel awkward, now he's got to do himself.
Yeah.
Alright.
I don't think.
Jimmy.
cheating
Which,
makes it awkward, just-
sorry,
I've got my yellow orb.
Yellow orb.
It's the skewed one.
Yes. So, what languages do you speak?
Infernal and common and thieves stuff.
You hear a language which sounds to you like Elvish.
Okay. No, you're boring me now and take my hand off and walk out.
Okay. Cool. So, what are you guys doing? Are you guys resting or are you guys staying awake?
I have one of my other crewmen take the helm and I go to sleep.
I'm going to start fitting with some of the herbalism stuff that I've got,
Cool.
the herbs that I haven't used yet, and also looking out for seaweed or anything else that might be floating by that I
Cool.
could use in terms of herbalism, and try making, say, water breathing potions.
Yep.
And potions of poison that can make for
So roll investigation to see if you can find anything worth taking floating around in the ocean.
Alright, mental. 10.
Cool. You find some seaweed, but everything else is kind of scarce. You do, as you're looking overboard and collecting whatever you can, trying very hard not to fall into the ocean, see a long black shadow underneath the boat. Long, like 100 feet long.
Okay. Oh. Big, wide thing or
Yeah.
a small thing?
Big,
It's just
wide
massive one. Big, wide thing? Alright. I get back up and I tell Orthanc.
Or think you are wrenched by
I
your
tell
sleep.
Orthanc.
Wake up, wake up!
What is it?
Orthanc.
saw a big shadow! It was a massive thing.
Was it the land we're sailing to?
Maybe. It was a big shadow.
Orthanc turns back to sleep.
Alright.
Cool. So, after some time, dawn breaks as the first light of the day stretches over the horizon.
Now I go to sleep. Because I want to spend all night with the cartographer copying his charts
Sure.
and learning anything I can about sea
Cool.
navigation.
So his charts are what's that, incomplete in the way that he's only been able to actually map them when he's got time off
Yeah.
from his
Normal
crow's nest.
Yeah.
So he's got like detailed maps of the stars from certain locations, but there's huge gaps in his knowledge. But you do manage to get what he has.
Yeah, cool.
He actually starts telling you about his theory that every star is the same star. It's just one star that exists in many different places at the same time.
Can I see how drunk he is?
He's not drunk at all.
No, okay.
In fact, he tells you he's not allowed to drink. Orthanc,
my ale.
legally, yes, he can drink, but Orthanc says any crew member on his ship maintains a sober mind, or they are cast off.
I thought you said the only thing to drink on the ship was ale.
The only thing that he can drink is ale.
Oh, okay.
And it's
If you're
a fine collection.
Alright.
The crew members themselves are not allowed.
Okay, cool.
Wow, you're a dick.
Yeah. I say that to him in the crow's nest.
He looks around. Orthanc is a great man. We are lucky to work alongside.
I choose this exact moment to walk out of my captain's quarters and go,
Great man, all hail. He goes back to being crow's nest, dude. Walking around.
Never mind.
Cool. So, who did anyone actually need a long rest? You guys didn't, right? You all
No.
had. Cool. Okay. So, the next day, dawn breaks. Beautiful light. Gorstag thanks Pelor for this wonderful morning, and says a prayer. He's essentially by the side of the boat saying a prayer. So it's been a day maybe since you set off. You're about halfway through your journey. Is there anything you'd like to do on this clear, empty ocean?
I'd like to talk to Peter there and ask him. Sorry, Orthanc.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk to Orthanc and ask him what he knows about the Isles and where we're heading to and how he knows how to get there so easily and
Cool.
what are we getting ourselves into.
Awesome. So Orthanc tells you that the Talon Isles have long been on the map. Their location is not a secret anyway. It's just that many people do not go there, as unless you step off a ship and have scales, you're very unlikely to receive a welcome.
So the Dragonborn aren't friendly to other people.
hence
That
my
racist.
scaly fox comment.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
However, he has noticed that over the last day or so travelling, that not only these birds that are flying overhead continuously are travelling that way, but so are other creatures in the ocean. There is something worrying that is causing a migration.
So, Throman sent us some new to gather information here. The local populace isn't going to talk to us. I don't think so. What information do you think we're supposed to be finding? Is it regarding the animals?
Probably. There's something drawing life forms here. Even us, inquisitively, are being drawn here. So there's something we need to find out. Why are unintelligent creatures of all sorts being drawn here? There's some great power. We need to figure that out. Whether we have to do it by force or by sweet talking, we'll find out.
When when Orthanc says whether by force, you do notice a slight flicker of smile as he considers that possibility.
Not to mention the vision I had of the dragon coming from these isles and attacking Blackwinter itself.
Yes, I definitely want to head towards that dragon.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's better than staying in Blackwinter and waiting for it to come to us.
better to get the bird in the nest.
So dragon and unintelligent animals and us, which so makes us unintelligent heading
And
towards the dragon.
Dragonborn.
Yeah,
And Dragonborn.
and Dragonborn.
Who are quite intelligent, what I hear.
And often I assume pair with dragons or work with them in a sense.
Roll
Friendly?
history. Roll history.
Oh, 20 modified.
Okay, so the Dragonborn essentially were much more prolific before the Age of Dragons, 1100 years ago. However, when dragons were multiple stories created, summoned, awoken, then the fire essentially swept Elysia and killed a lot. Then there was a rather horrible backlash against Dragonborn. They were blamed for the bringing of the dragons and all the destruction that had ensued. Essentially, they were denied rights, they were denied places in any of the kingdoms, and they were driven out. Not only were they driven out of the cities into the forests, after that they were driven out of the forests. Essentially, they got on ships and the backs of griffins and the like and vanished.
To these isles.
Seemingly. Seemingly.
Okay, well that's a good thing to know. So,
They're probably gonna fucking hate our guts.
well, likely they aren't going to like the dragon much either. So that's something we can work with at least. Bit of leverage.
Maybe. We don't know what reception we'll get when we step off the boat, if we even get that far yet.
Do we need to step off the boat? Let's just follow the animals and see where they go. The last rift that we encountered was in the middle of an ice flow, if I remember correctly.
You do indeed.
So hopefully we can avoid these scaly fucks altogether.
Yes. Yeah.
Knowing you, a scaly fuck is probably going to happen.
It is a box I have unticked, but we'll get there when we get there.
Cool. So the boat sails on. Until clouds begin to gather.
Clouds.
Quickly. They sweep in from towards the north, black dark clouds that then block out the sunlight very quite quickly. And it rains heavily.
I call the Tiefling up to the helm.
Hello?
You're summoned.
I
Snake Slayer.
go on my own team. Well, friend of Snake Slayer, yes.
Does this look familiar to you?
I was about to ask that myself.
What's
Does it
your
familiar?
insight bonus?
Oh god, not great. -1.
-1. It's a quick storm, very quick, but not unworldly so.
It doesn't have the same kind of vibe to me, but to be honest, the Druid would be the one who'd be the one to ask about nature, whether it is or not, I
Right.
imagine.
I look good. Shiver wrenches her attention from the side of the boat and the black shadows underneath the water and...
Get 21.
Cool. No, this is just a storm. No arcana, no summoning at all, but it's a powerful storm and it's going to rage.
Right. Sky's angry, but it's just the sky.
Gorstag drops to his knee and starts saying a prayer to power. I'm going to roll religion for him. Cool. His eyes go white. He's vanished into a vision.
Crap.
So I take it like wind's building up
Yeah.
as well? Okay.
And the boat is starting to rock as the seas get rather unruly.
Can I start to just drag Gorstag?
Yeah, Gorstag kind of like
yeah.
goes with you. He's whispering something in Elven.
I go to my cabin.
Cool. Arkyan disappears below deck to one of the cabins that essentially Orthanc has kicked one of his crew members out of for you to stay in. Very nicely. As you guys are saying this, huge bolt of lightning off the starboard bow, and the ship is now again not a huge ship, not by any means a powerful type thing. Is now kind of being thrown about a little bit on the rocky waves.
I prepare the crew to take down the sails if the wind becomes too strong.
Cool. The crew immediately runs to those specific positions and awaits the next command. I need everyone to make, except for Arkyan, who's below decks, straight strength to hold on as a wave crashes into the side of the boat.
I call Gore below deck.
I take that by yourself.
Really?
12.
Yeah, you need to
Well-
leave at least some up so you can still steer. Otherwise, you're just stuck in the middle of the water out here.
Take down some sails.
Right. Nice.
I got a 5, by the way.
Okay. Orthanc, you see as this wave crashes into the side of the ship, and you just hear water spray, and you hear all the crew members kind of gasp and cling to the side of the boat. Orthanc, you tumble. Make a deck save.
I got a 6 on the same.
Make a deck save. As you guys,
21.
nice.
Ooh, 14.
Okay, nice. As the whole ship wrenches like this, suddenly it's just up, like on its side like this, and eventually equalizes. Both of you guys roll and tumble right off the side. Orthanc, you just grab hold of one of the bits of wood and just like hanging there as that happens, Dain reaches out and you grab him. So now you're like hanging off the side of the ship, Dain in one hand, other hand attached to the boat. You guys under decks, below decks, you feel this huge like as you're thrown to the sides.
I'd like to toss the dwarf.
Roll strength.
Okay. 19.
Cool.
Really?
Dain, you get with Orthanc's muscular, half orcish like arm just thrown, and you barrel onto the decks of the ship.
Somebody will clamber onto there.
Cool. He gets back up. You're still hanging off the side.
Okay, I'd like to climb up as well.
Roll strength. As you reach your way up
19.
and over the side, the ship is now being thrown quite far off course towards the south.
Shit. Okay, I'll first of all lash myself to the wheel.
Okay.
And then get the crew to start manning the sails and get us in position, and I'll start.
Cool.
steering up.
So it takes a bit to actually be able to scream over the sound of the storm, but eventually they hear your words cutting through the ears and go about their business. You yourself run to the steering wheel and just latch yourself on with a thick rope, and you're not moving from that position. You're sweet. You've got it sorted. I need you to roll straight strength, and I'm going to roll as the storm.
11.
Against a 4, you manage to keep, and you go off like quite far to the sides, but then you kind of bring yourself back, and you're now more on course. However, the storm is still raging. Bolts of lightning are shattering across the oceans, and the sky is completely obscured and covered by clouds.
I yell out for the Druid.
Okay, Shiver, you hear your name being.
I try and make my way over.
Okay. Yeah, so you run aside, and that's next to Orthanc. The rain just like pelting down sideways, and you can see him like being lurched around while tied to the steering wheel. I need you to just being up there, make a straight strength.
15.
Cool, and you manage to just hold on to essentially his arm as this whole thing like throws you about.
Druid, can you do anything about this?
Controlling weather? That's the Archdruid's thing. It's not mine.
Is
I
there
can
enough-
swim in the ocean. I can do that for you.
Alright, then you best get back below deck.
I can make some extra wind if you want, but that's about it.
Well, actually, you might be able to help set us back on course if the winds are at a crosswind.
That would work well. I'm going to need a bit of a rest before I do that to get the right spells, but I can do that.
Okay, we might be here a while.
Cool.
Alright, I'm going to try and head downstairs and get a little bit of sleep in a hammock thing so I can then change my spells and stuff.
I'm gonna say it's gonna take Constitution to force yourself to fall asleep.
Can I offer him Dreamleaf to assist?
Yes. Roll with advantage.
Excellent.
Just give him the black sleep leaf and it'll be
Yeah,
out straight
yeah.
away.
It's like
That one.
Yeah.
Okay, 16.
So you rush downstairs, and Fate's like, catch! And he throws you the black leaf, and you just like chew on the black leaf, and eventually.
Don't roll that one!
Kind
Before
of
sleeping.
Good.
Alright, change spells.
Meanwhile, Orthanc, you're screaming from the top. However, the storm starts to subside.
I'm still yelling profanities.
Yeah, of course. And after a while, you're back on track. You leave the darker clouds behind, and it clears once more. However, that's taken a lot of time to do that, to get out of that storm. It's maybe 6, 7 in the evening now. You're not far from your destination, you would assume.
Okay, I'll get the halfling to try and discern our location.
Cool. He immediately goes to the stars, and some of the sky is still obscured, but he's like checking his little star maps. After a while, he shouts, "Slightly off course! Northeast!"
Alright, I readjust.
Cool. And the ship kind of drifts as you run, I assume, to the helm.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of just stare off.
Oh, I'm lashed to it.
Right.
Actually, I'd like to unlash myself and just make sure the ship isn't damaged.
Cool. Roll investigation.
Okay.
Is this
2.
long enough for a short...
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Rest?
Sure is.
Okay, so I come back up.
Yeah.
Ready to blast some wind into the sails.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. So as you do, the wind picks up and the ship lurches forward as it's now getting drawn towards the northeast, where your crow's nest dude had told you.
Did you fly off the ship with equal force?
You do, however, Orthanc notice that the ship is starting to ride sideways and increasing at an angle.
Okay, I get one of the crew to take the wheel, and then Jesus take the wheel, and then I'll go downstairs and see what's happening below deck.
Cool. As this guy runs and crashes, you hear Arkyan's voice just screaming, "Help!" as the cabin, which is filled with water, as there's, from the storm you would assume, a hole in the hull, and that's letting water in at quite a fast pace.
I don't your help. I just cast levitate on myself.
Okay. You're on your phone. I thought you had
Sorry.
No, it's all good. Yeah, so floating Arkyan like floats past you as this cabin starts filling up with water.
What the fuck are you doing?
There's a hole in the wall.
No shit!
Okay, I'm no craftsman. I'm gonna have to go yell some really good profanities at some people upstairs to get things to do.
You use some
How
swear words.
big is the hole?
Maybe about that big.
Can I
Mage hand it?
mage hand it? Yeah.
Like this. Sure. Make decks because I want to see like trying to hold.
It's like D&D sellotape.
Yeah. 8.
You managed to slow it like considerably, but there's still water coming from the side. You yourself managed to use some profanities that have been out of use for at least 200 years. Like, seriously, like good insulting, like one of them actually like pissed, like visibly, ooh, like shit. I've never been called that before, kind of thing. But yeah, our kind of mage hand is holding the water back. Who's on the deck?
I'm currently blasting wind.
Cool. Can you roll perception?
I shall roll perception. Metal. That is... ooh, goody. That's 24.
Cool. The crow's nest dude is currently checking his star charts and stuff. However, Shiver's voice rings through. Land! As you can see what you would assume is the Talon Isles. And you would assume it's the Talon Isles because this hulking shadow towards the horizon has what looks like massive talon-like claws coming off the side of this island. Like huge, like unbelievably massive steel-structured claws. You've never seen the Talon Isles, but you would assume. However, the ship is tilting and tilting.
I yell for the druid again.
You hear your name.
Alright, stop blasting wind.
Cool.
Carry your
Shiver runs downstairs and to the cabin.
Druid, you offered your services to destroy water before. I think now would be a perfect time.
I can do that. Kabam! How much water is in there?
One a lot.
I can get rid of 30 gallons.
On the other side, can't you just plug the hole in the wall using your wood magic or something like that?
Could I druid craft dead wood? I can try.
Yeah.
I'll try and druid craft the hole closed.
Okay.
Is that going to work?
Yes.
Okay, I
so
do that.
Shiver rushes up and puts his hand on the wood, and occasionally, like you're like watching, going, go on. It's performance and anxiety, but eventually the broken like planks, those little splinters, those little tendrils, kind of like weave themselves back together, and then eventually the hole fixes itself.
Once I've done that, I'll destroy the water that's inside.
Cool. Shiver immediately removes his hands and then plunges it into the water, and you just see it all get like absorbed as if little like tentacles or something, and just brushes into him, and then there's like this little like emanation of steam from his shoulders. Done.
I give Shiver a pat on the back and say, "The Kraken won't take us this day."
You do feel the ship kind of like start to level out, and eventually at maybe 10-11 p.m. you reach your goal, your destination, the Talon Isles. I need everyone to roll perception.
15.
8.
10.
9.
Okay.
I don't like these dice.
Well, they sent you the wrong ones. So you had the highest, right?
15.
15, yeah. So, your first gaze upon the Talon Isles, your first look at this shrouded in mystery, very less known, less visited place. You can see the same thing that Shiver saw, these huge talon-like hands coming off the side of the island. The island itself is all black onyx and black rock, and you see rising from this massive cathedral-like spires that reach into the sky. You can also see trees and the like that are on the island. However, the leaves themselves are ablaze and glow. It looks like all the leaves are actually on fire. There's like thousands of these little like tinkering lights just glinting underneath the stars. Shiver, can you roll insight, please?
I'd like to ask Gorstag. This looks like the forest he saw where the rift is.
Clear.
No, it's not.
Okay.
14.
14. You immediately recognise this as being what is commonly referred to as fireleaf. Essentially, you believed it to be myth, a druid legend of ancient forests that never existed. But staring at this, no, that's fireleaf, as they all just ablaze. But as you get closer, you realise that these trees are planted, in like in a row leading up to these huge steps. And towards the bottom of the aisle where you now approach, you can see what kind of looks like a dock, at least enough for a ship to arrive. You also notice something that immediately makes your heart go poof, which is the centre of this aisle silhouetted against the moons and kind of small like flickers of light from the fireleaf, what looks like a massive adult black dragon just perched on the centre of this aisle.
I don't tell anyone that I see that.
Okay.
And just see if there's any reaction as we pull up. Can I see any inhabitants of the island at this point?
Roll some perception.
Okay. 21.
Yes, you do. But you don't see that. You don't see them. You hear their chants. What languages does Orthanc speak?
Not many, just common and orc.
Okay. So in a language that you don't recognise, does anyone speak Draconic?
Yep.
Cool. You're the only one that don't really understands what is being said. You immediately recognise it to be some kind of arcane chant, and it just says, "Bring the creatures, bring the creatures, bring the creatures, bring the creatures." And as you hear this, a flock of birds flies overhead and towards the island.
Thunkor, do we really want to be landing here? Is this sort of what we're doing?
Well, I think your earlier idea that perhaps we scattered out is not a bad one at all, and I call to weigh anchor, and then have some of the rafts prepared so that we can scout around the island.
Plunk! The anchor pierces the water and sinks immediately deep, and the ship kind of lurches and settles.
Hey, Fate, what do you reckon about mixing some of this fire leaf with some dream leaf? Like, you wouldn't even need to light it. Like, just drop a fire leaf on top.
I'm thinking we got any business ventures.
Self-lighting bombs.
Fate, as Arkyan says this, you kind of go, that could work, and you start staring at these trees. You notice that the growth of the branches is in no way random as what you've seen in forests elsewhere in Ukast or Elysia. In fact, each one of these branches comes off at the same angle and splits at the same angle so that it is perfectly symmetrical from every side. Each one of the trees is like that.
It's really disturbing. I pointed out to the others.
You guys
Is this how they grow?
Can I?
Yeah.
Are the leaves themselves hot?
No.
Like, are they on fire or?
Well, they're not hot, but yes, they're on fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
14.
Cool. Immediately you go, okay, that's not how trees grow. That's not the natural way trees grow.
Okay.
You actually think that
So these have been husbanded
yeah
into their shapes.
into perfectly symmetrical trees from every angle.
Okay, excellent. Have we docked yet? Have we?
No.
We're weighing
No, you
anchor
guys-
offshore so that we can scout the island.
No.
Perhaps
You
we
can
should
still
wait
hear
for
the
the
chant.
morning.
Are we clearly visible from the island? Like, I'm assuming Dragon can fly. They have dragon in the name. They don't fly?
No.
Do they have boats? Are they good with the water?
I assume if they live on an island, they probably would.
Yeah. I don't know. They don't sound friendly. I don't really want to be sitting here in full view of them. We could do the old. I heard
hiding ourselves would be more unfriendly.
the story of Helen of Troy, how they went over the horizon and came back at night and landed. No.
Well, maybe.
They hid the fleet over the horizon.
What's happening with the storm at the moment?
Behind you, it's vanished into.
And it's currently like midnight, right?
Oh, screw it. We've come this far. Yeah.
Now, like if it's midnight, I think exploring an island that is quite probably extremely hostile during the night is just a general all-around bad idea. Especially, is there anyone that doesn't have dark vision in this party? Oh no, there
I
isn't.
think
Ted.
you've got
Alright.
dark vision.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, totally. Let's go explore.
Okay.
Captain, what do you want to do?
Well, I am as much as, well, I'm at your mercy really, as much as I am the captain of the ship. We can either explore the island and perhaps look threatening, or we can sail straight into the port. At this point, we haven't been shot out of the water, so perhaps going into the port is...
Bluster's always served me in the past.
I didn't realise it was a port.
Yeah, there's a small
Oh,
port.
okay. Then I think we should wait until morning and arrive in port during daylight.
And go like we're invited.
Yeah.
Is there some kind of sail or design we can put on the flag that might seem friendly to them?
I've not really communicated with these beast people.
Pretty much no one has for 1,000 years.
I could put a symbol up on the sail saying we come in peace or something like that.
Well, there are nautical messages that can be delivered with flags, so as soon as there's first light...
If no one's communicated with them in 1,000 years, what are the chances of them knowing that?
I'm thinking of a very generic symbol that they're likely to recognise, like a happy smiling dragon face or something. You know?
Maybe not a dragon face, but in Draconic I could just put something up saying...
We can write to them!
Don't set us on fire.
Yep.
Would be a good start.
We come in peace or something.
You guys all hear this sound as you're having this conversation from the ship, from the isle. Just and as you turn that silhouette of the dragon, you now see its mouth just...
On the other side,
Huge
we stay in the
column of
water
fire.
for like 10 hours and then get set on fire by a dragon.
We've got information, there's people and creatures coming in a dragon. We can just go tell Thromin, we're done.
We don't know why they're coming. That's what we're sent to find out.
I also informed them of the chant that I heard.
Because they're chanting, that's why. We're
Bring
done.
creatures,
But
bring
why
creatures.
are they chanting? Are you so yelly belly? Yelly belly? Yelly belly. You know what I mean.
Of a dragon? Yes!
Hmm.
I am fearsome indeed, as you can see, but...
I like the
Dragon?
annoying floating one. I say we go morning.
I think for someone that spends most of their time on a floating construction of wood, you should be more afraid of fire-breathing dragons.
Probably.
Orcs aren't known for their intelligence or beauty.
Oh,
But I'll follow you in this regard.
You're not wrong, and I wink with my scarred eye.
It seems like you're determined. If you think that we can survive this, then there better be gold at the end.
We were sent here to do something.
Dragons do like treasure.
Whatever happens, I want a couple of samples of that fire leaf.
We can get you that.
Actually, as you turn back and look at the island, yeah, it's quite a cool sight to see all these perfectly spaced out dotted leaves that give off this small like reddish glow, this golden glow at completely perfectly spaced out intervals. They kind of all sway together as well as the wind kind of like travels through the trees, and they all just kind of go up to they disappear into smaller flecks leading up to the centre of the island, and then kind of come out again in lines further on. It's quite a sight.
If we're doing this, do you have some kind of ancient blood feud with the dragons or something? Have you heard that before?
No, I'm very interested. No, I have very little rage toward dragons. We have to see how well I can smite them.
That's the spirit.
It's not reassuring.
How does Pedro feel about dragons?
One sec.
You're not going to be doing any smiting instead?
Gorstag is fairly sure that Palo has led him here,
Alright.
and that there's something he wants him to do.
Palo going to protect you here?
Perhaps if we are going into the port at night,
In the morning.
I like in the
Are we
morning
waiting
with the
in the morning?
message on the
In
side.
the
of
morning.
Yeah.
Cool, never mind.
So, the party carefully waits off the port side, far enough away, anchored outside the Talon Isles, and eventually you guys fall into a less than restful sleep, quite concerned. You wake the next morning, and I imagine Orthanc would be one of the first awake as you come to the surface to watch over and stare back at the island. Your heart goes from poof to calm to I'm an idiot to that's a statue, not a real dragon.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, thank God.
As you can now see this like black stone onyx just
I just muttered to myself, I'm so glad I didn't tell anyone.
meanwhile the fire leaf has stopped glowing. It's still reddish, but it's no longer a blaze of the light. And you can see maybe 6 or 7 hooded figures standing where the port is, watching.
So no more shouting.
No,
I'll wave at one of them.
they do not move. But you do hear, as you kind of... You can tell they can see you. They don't move, but immediately there's just this... from the island.
It's a welcoming party.
And we're just going to leave it there for about 10 minutes. We're going to take a quick break as the party has arrived at the Talon Isles, home of the Dragonborn, unseen for the last 1100 years. Thank you very much, Dave. We're just going to read some quick announcements for you lovely people. Leonard Skinner donated $5. Thank you so much, dude. That's going towards our new battle cam. Awesome. Wicked. That's beautiful. We love that. I have been... reading your lovely comments in the chat when I have like a moment just behind my DM screen. You guys are lovely. We love you out there.
Did you read the map?
I did read that. Thank you so much.
Did you see what I said?
Yeah, my head, man. It's this big now.
Yeah, I know. I thought so.
You guys are lovely. They likened me to Matt Mercer. Wow.
One person liked it. So calm down.
You do realise I'm going to get that tattooed on my arm.
Do you want to read
Yeah,
the
let's
email?
read the email.
Oh, you expect me to like...
I thought you had it written down. Okay. Which one? Keep it up. Enjoyed the broadcast. Keep it up. Thank you, Leonard. Thank you. Oh, you guys are so lovely.
That was the first ever email we ever got.
I might print that out and put it on my wall because that's fantastic. And thank you for the donation. We really do appreciate it. It's just so nice knowing that you guys are out there and enjoying what we're doing. But we will be back in 10 minutes. I just need to pour myself more coffee. So remember, D20 Multiverse, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. We're all over the cybersphere. So we'll be right back. And thank you for watching. Woo! Hello, welcome back to Black Winter Nights, one of the games set in Elysia, my world. The party, Black Winter Nights, are now back. Dain, our player, has gone home for the night. He was not feeling well, so we wish him all the best, and he'll be back, not next week because he's away, but the week after as Dain, and for the rest of the session I will take care of Dain, and that is what we shall do. As you guys woke, you heard the sounds of the oceans, the gently lapping waves against the Talon Isles, and as the sun beamed down upon you from maybe about 7 in the morning as you guys arose, you steered out towards the Talon Isles, where you saw 6 hooded figures watching you intently. Arkyan had waved, and that is when this rather tribal drumbeat had started and is now pounding through the air. What are you guys doing?
I think we need to get a message up. I feel like these would be pretty, like, pretty awesome because they're dragons. So let something like grand, like from the envoy of Throbbin, the ruler of, and carrier of, and breaker of across the sail.
Let's see what I can do with prestidigitation.
Appear with Granger and minor illusion.
Yeah. I'd help with that with my illusion.
Cool.
Could I put like an image of Thorman's face up or something as well?
Okay.
Right. You
Make
just
it
discuss it
colour?
with a small mark or a symbol appear on an object or surface for 1 hour. So I might not be able to put an entire speech up there.
Well, just
Oh,
like
I guess I could actually. So yeah, right. I cast like 100 prestidigitations in a row, and
Is it
I just
con-
like
is it-
flash.
Is it concentration?
No,
not-
it's
you-
not.
you-
It's cantrip. So,
you can have 3 instances at a time, same as Thaumaturgy.
no, but what I do is
Yeah, one of the other.
I want to put up a
variations.
word, then replace it with a new one
Alright,
again and again. So you can essentially put a message up there,
Cool.
Yeah.
and I say,
You can do like 3-letter words, basically.
I don't know if you can do a speech.
Well,
using the
we
spell.
also have minor illusion, so if we work together and know what we're going to say.
Mm.
Also,
if you have minor illusion, that would be way easier.
also you're not sure what languages they speak.
Well, we
Oh,
can pretty
it's
much say a draconic.
Yeah.
yeah.
We can try Draconic.
Like,
If you do Draconic, you can translate into Common. I could do sign language in the battle.
I'm not sure that.
yeah, I guess a small mark or a symbol.
Yeah.
Doesn't really say a word.
No.
Alright, come on,
Sorry.
minor illusion guy.
Is there like a universal symbol for peace?
And Elysia?
Yeah.
Yes.
Boom, on the
Cool.
symbol.
All
There
right.
you go.
Essentially, it's a teardrop upside down.
Done.
Cool. That blazes on the sail. You can see a couple of the hooded figures turn to each other. As they are watching you, you notice behind them the steps leading up to the centre of the aisle. There are maybe 30, 40 other hooded figures coming down. 1 or 2 of them don't have their hoods. And 1 or 2 of them have dark red and black kind of scaly skin, horns, and even at this distance, glowing eyes. It's a kind of congregating.
Do they look armed?
Roll insight. Perception.
8.
You notice that some of them are carrying drums, which is where that is coming from. The sound itself is picking up in intensity quickly. If you've ever been at a concert and you stand too close to the speakers, you're kind of actually getting that feeling now through your chests and organs, internal organs.
Okay, I'll slowly start steering us in and get everyone on top ready for a nice warm greeting, I guess.
So as the ship releases its anchor and starts travelling close towards the Talon Isles, one of these creatures, hooded figures, steps forward and puts his hands. I need everyone to make a dex save.
Oh, right.
5.
18.
Oh, natural 20!
Okay. Arkyan, you take 12 points of fire damage as this fireball just rips out across this across the ship, the bow of the ship. Everyone that rolled over
Sorry, how much points?
wait, hang on. 12. Everyone else takes 6 points of fire damage as this fire just emanates. You see themselves cast minor illusion, and it's just a skull.
Well, at least they're honest about it.
Can we? Is it too late to turn around all that? Can we just kind of steer the other way?
Is it too late to turn around and steer the other way?
You can. It's going to take some time to turn the ship around.
But
It's not like a car. You can't just...
how close are we to shore? Like that?
You're drifting pretty close. You're maybe 30, 40 feet away.
Oh,
Alright.
Yeah, if they can fire on us, we're
Okay, I dip an arrow into some of that poison I got from the Galaxia,
Mhm.
and I take a shot at the guy who did fire.
I yell to arms!
Roll to hit.
Motherfucker.
There's like 70 of these dudes on the beach, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, but we're on a... How many of them cast magic? Like, I'm hoping. Because that wasn't great. That was 15.
Okay.
Can I roll perception on the group to see how many of them seem to be carrying not weapons but some form of staff,
You can.
wands,
Yeah.
arcane foci, something
Roll
like
some. Roll some.
Perception?
Perception.
that? 13.
Cool. 15 does hit.
Oh, yay!
Roll damage.
Awesome. That's with my elven bow. So it's 8.
Okay, 8 points of damage.
Oh, and he's poisoned because I did the Galaxia stuff.
You did. So this arrow just shoots from the ship and sinks into the guy who had cast the fireball and pierces through his skin. You can see him injured, but he's not that badly hurt. However, one of the other ones sets forward. Everyone please make a dex save.
Oh boy.
What did I see? 4 stabs and...
Yeah, most of them are carrying something.
Alright. But no like swords or blades or anything?
No.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
That's much worse.
Okay.
Jumps to what we want.
They're taking us anyway.
Sorry, Dexter?
You want to make a dex save?
18.
Okay. Alright. 18.
18.
12.
6.
Okay. 15 points of damage for everyone that rolled under 13.
What type of damage is it?
That is cold damage.
Okay.
As this other guy steps forward, as soon as that arrow sticks into his friend, a lot of them just step forward and raise their hands, and this cloud appears above the ship, and just pelts of ice start raining down like coins being thrown at speed. They just pelt into you. The guy in the crow's nest tumbles and falls into the ocean.
So how much damage have we got over?
The shield spell would do
Half of
it
that.
against that, would it?
Which was
Did
6?
Dexter?
No, that just provides you AC.
Wait, 14 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
15.
Oh, crap.
The crow's nest halfling is now in the water, trying to climb his way back up the ship.
Okay, I yell at one of the crewmen to get him. How far are we? Like, how long?
Have you started turning the ship? Like, did you start trying to?
I didn't because we made the attack.
Right.
Yeah. Are we going in?
Well, no, I made
It's
the
like
attack. You're
Like if
in
we were
the
40
wheel.
feet away, we surely are in by now.
Yeah.
How many of them are on the beach? Like 7?
Like 70, dude.
Yeah,
There's
there's
a
no
lot.
way we were going to survive that.
We sail
Yeah.
the fuck away from here. We don't go in.
Get out of that range.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just yell at
Cool.
you two to start laying down suppressing fire.
Make some strength to turn the ship.
Cool. And yeah, I yell at a crew member to grab Shorty from the.
Okay. He's gonna try. Yeah, cool. He manages to get a rope up the side and the guy starts climbing up.
Modified 20.
Nice. The ship turns quickly. Your friend gets back up to the ship as the ship turns away. However, I need everyone to make a dex save again.
16.
Ooh. 19.
20.
Okay. I don't know if I have enough dice for this. Give me a sec. As hang on. Where is it? One more. Did not? Oh, there's one. Okay. As the ship turns and starts going away from the island, this wall of fire reaches up from 17 points of fire damage for everyone that rolled under a 13. Half that if you made your save.
And I'm resistant, so
I'm down.
Rounding
Okay.
up or rounding down?
it's
We
8, 4.
round up.
We round up.
Mhm.
So 17 is 8, 9 plus
9.
resistance.
9.
So half of that again rounded up is 5.
Correct. This huge wall of fire emanates in front of the ship. The ship travels into it a little bit. You will take a bit of damage. Some of the sails catch fire.
Arkyan is down.
Arkyan is
Like
unconscious.
he's dead.
Dead?
No, not dead, but unconscious.
He's down.
Yeah.
Shit, that's scary. Arkyan just gets the full brunt of this thing as he's standing on the side of the ship. Just, the heat just knocks him over and he hits
I just confirm with you because these are dex rolls.
Yeah.
The shield spell gives you +5 AC.
Mhm.
That wouldn't help me at all against any of this, would it?
It's
Alright.
dodging things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not direct attack.
The ship, however, is now heading away from the island.
Do they appear to be out of range, not able to attack us anymore, from what I can tell from when they started their volley?
No, they're still within range of.
Okay, I get off the helm, walk to the side of the ship, start swearing at them, and I cast Silence on the group of casters.
Okay.
Ooh.
Awesome.
Ooh.
Do you roll for that? Do I make a save?
No, there's a 20-foot sphere, and they can't cast if it uses vocal components, so they
Cool.
have to move out of it.
Cool. You guys see this lead bubble just whoosh, emanate around these guys standing on the side of the shore, and they just.
Oh, fuck, I'm so stupid. Never mind. Good.
Yeah, I had something to help as well. But fuck.
Yeah.
They are currently unable to cast certain spells.
How far away from shore are we?
You're increasing your distance, so you're maybe 60, 70 feet.
I'll take another shot just because they're dead.
Okay.
I'm just lying on the ground,
No,
slightly
I
on
miss.
fire, charged,
Well, I can't heal you, man.
dying.
I grab him and say,
I
Sure,
cast Healing
yeah.
Word on
Yeah.
you.
I tell Kirk
Right,
to
how much?
fucking pull himself and say, get up!
Oh, I'm doing the same. Nice!
3?
6.
Nice.
Wait, is it D4 plus your modifier?
Yes.
Okay, 4 from me then.
Alright, cool.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. So I get up and I cast Fog, using my staff on the
Staff,
group of casters.
"Oh, mate,
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah.
Off! Can I?
Hey, you've got Fog as well.
Not fog, I've got create water, and I'm wondering whether or not I can create fog with create water.
you can destroy fog." So
I can destroy fog, but I don't know I can create.
If you summon it over fire, surely.
Create water. Take it up to 10 gallons. Alternatively, water falls as rain in a 30-foot cube.
I said, "Orthanc, how did you do that?"
That's 30
I
feet
didn't think an orc could do that.
Most orcs can't. And I give you a little wink with my scarred eye.
I swear, just a little.
I think you're in.
Is he a warlock? Is he a druid?
Everyone roll perception.
Probably a priest of Grumish.
17.
17.
Perception?
You too, yeah. The ship is sailing away. You're maybe about 80 feet away from shore. You can now see the bubble of the guys unable to cast. Yes, you can see fog as well. You also see one of them hovering above.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And the ship.
Fucking scorching ray.
Nice.
Face.
Yeah, go for it, roll to hit. However, the ship has now hit what seems like an invisible barrier as this wall of shimmering light kind of just emanates. And
That was
10 radius of 10 feet.
I would like to take a shot at the exact same guy that he's
Yeah, roll
doing.
to hit.
That was a 10, a 24, and a 14.
Okay, the 14 and the 20 something or other hit.
Right.
So roll damage.
Cool.
I got a 25.
Okay, that roll. Yep, roll damage.
Oh, 12 damage. Damn.
Okay.
No, I lied. 10 damage. Sorry.
12. So 22 damage altogether. These spells like rip across the sky and hit this floating dude who takes the full brunt of it both in his chest, and he kind of just falls for his fly spell. His concentration breaks and he collapses to the ground. Not dead by any means, but certainly enough to break the concentration on the wall of force, and the ship makes its way away. Just.
So that was a stupid decision.
Yes, a poor choice from the team coming together on it.
From the collective minds of...
Should we sail around the island and just see what other places there are that we could at least, maybe not harbour, but at least put down a boat and get onto the island?
I think they'll be looking out for us at this point. but
Yeah, I
that's-
know,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, these animals that you've been watching, are they heading towards the island? Is that where they're going?
Yeah, everything's heading towards that way.
Okay, they're
I'm not even sure they're really thinking of their own thing.
They're not heading to a point off the island that we can follow. They're heading directly to where we were going.
As far as I know, have I noticed anything?
The creatures under the ocean and all the birds that fly overhead
Straight
landing
towards the island, right?
landing in the middle of the island. Yeah.
All right.
Alright.
Are there any other smaller or any other islands around?
Yes, the Talon Isles is the main island which you currently find yourself sailing away from, and there are small islands dotted around that. You do know that further north there are the Crystal Isles, but that's a couple of days trip.
Why don't we take cover from in one of these smaller isles and then scout from there?
Yeah. Did we notice anything like on the beaches in terms of aquatic life, amphibious life trying to get onto the island?
Yeah,
Like, what happens with all like the creatures, the fish and dolphins and everything going towards the island? Do they just stop? Do they go dive down? Can we see anything like that?
Yeah, they were travelling beneath, seemingly, where the port was.
Okay.
The birds themselves are flocking to the centre. And anything that flies overhead is going to the centre of the main island. And the rest of the creatures are under the water towards it.
So if we go to one of these other islands, we can just take a little boat and kind of stealth our way in. Is that
That's what we're thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, one of the nearest isles that is out of visual range, but large enough to dock, you manage to make your way there. There's trees growing as well, but these trees are growing naturally, not in perfect symmetry. And eventually you guys manage to dock the ship and climb aboard, and it's not a huge island, but certainly large enough to hide or do what you need to.
Yep, I just want the ship kind of parked out of line of sight from the main island, really. That's it.
Absolutely, you can do that. Cool. There are creatures on this island.
I'm checking out all of the fluffies.
Yeah. So you've got like little raccoons and squirrels and stuff, but they're all standing on the shore of this island facing... They're all grouped facing this main island of the
Yeah,
island.
it's fucking creepy.
I asked Dain or Gore if they perhaps have some healing blessings for me.
Yes, I do believe Gorstag has healing word, which is what, a D6?
A D4 plus.
I walk up next to him and look hopeful as well.
I did take 30 damage as well.
I think like maybe we actually need a rest at this point before
Yeah.
we
Maybe a little one.
Okay.
We could use short rest hit dice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Alright. Paladin short rest.
I want to cast Speak with Animals
Sure.
and Animal Friendship on the animals that are just looking out towards the island, and just go down and ask them, what is it that you want over there? Why are you heading that way?
Cool. So all the creatures that are currently on the side all answer you in kind, and all answer you simultaneously. We must go. We must go. We must go. We must go. Let's go.
Why?
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta get there. Get in there. Go. 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 That's all they say over and over again.
Okay, cool. I come back and report that to the party, like they're all fucking mad.
Animals are crazy. Alright, good. How do we do hit die?
So you roll a number of hit dice equal to your level, and that hit die is based off whatever your class is.
Yeah,
So as a rogue, you'd be like a D6.
Do you
However-
have to do equal to your level?
No, you. So that is your pool that you can roll from.
Yeah.
Or
I want to
9.
go back on board.
Yeah.
Go below deck.
Yeah.
Get my axe.
Yeah.
Come back out.
Yeah.
And start playing a Song of Rest.
Nice.
So everyone gets an extra D6.
Nice.
Short rest.
Yes.
So we know
alright.
where you are now.
Roll some of those hit die.
6.
I think he's about
8.
Yay, I'm back up to full, thank you.
Nice.
As all healed.
Oh, that's a 1.
So when you say axe, you mean a guitar?
It is a great axe with metal strings down from along the shaft, basically.
It's basically really badass.
You're
I
massively...
I try and touch it as you're playing it because it's all pretty and smooth.
I spit at you.
Oh, what?
So the party managed to make their way further into the island underneath the cover of a couple of trees. The ship remains docked on the far side of the island, blocked out by the actual landmass from the side of the main island. Managed to complete a short rest in just beds that you've constructed and things that have been pulled off the ship. The halfling who had fallen overboard is being dried, wearing a blanket, and is kind of shaken. He's reluctant to get back up into the crow's nest. But yes, after a couple of hours, you guys regain some hit points and awake maybe midday, early afternoon. A few birds fly overhead, all going the same way.
Are we, I figured night would be the best time to kind of get this operation underway.
If we're sneaking over, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we know if...
Dragonborn have dark vision?
Yes, exactly.
Probably.
Do we know if dragons have dark vision?
I'm sure dragons
No,
will.
don't dragons do.
Dragonborn.
Don't do Dragon
Then
Ball,
we're
no.
gonna-
You'd know that dragons have, the older dragons have true sight,
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
which
So I would assume that anything that's evolved from them would probably have pretty good sight
you can make that assumption.
in the dark.
Could we do an investigation to see who knows?
Roll history with disadvantage, seeing
Okay.
as Dragonborn very unlikely.
Oh, I got a 2 then.
12?
17.
Oh!
They can't be 2 nat 20s.
It is 2 nat 20s.
Wow.
Wait, meant to know this.
Unbelievable. Cool! That's the first time that's ever happened in one of my games.
That's
wow.
nuts.
Yeah. So, Dragonborn. Yes, do
I
have.
happen to actually know this. What the fuck? Okay.
Yes, their sight is very, very good.
Do they have dark sight?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
in my world.
Alright.
Don't they normally?
I have no idea.
Is
Give me
anyone
seconds.
still missing hit points? I actually am still.
I still am as well.
No, I'm fine.
How many?
7.
Could we get Gorstag to give us a little
Lay on
Uh,
hands.
Yeah.
Dane,
What's lay on hands?
Dane
What-
has
what
lay on
die?
hands.
Lay on
Dane
hands,
has lay on hands.
Yeah, so he can just top you up straight away.
Yeah.
he just has a ball that comes out of
Yeah.
when he touches.
Yeah, yeah, he can do that. He can do that.
Cool.
Cool.
Good thinking.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you, short one.
The light of Paladin be with you.
Going over there, doesn't matter if it's daytime or nighttime, thanks to you.
Well,
Two net twins.
that's not necessarily true. Dark vision to be metagaming is 60 feet.
True. Well, I have dark vision, so I know how it works. So
Yeah,
yes.
same.
And
Just
We all have dark vision,
Metagaming.
so we all know
Everyone
that.
has that.
we could we cloak the ship somehow? Oh, we've got a couple of black cloaks. We could just kind of put them in the front. It's a sea at night. We'll just travel along.
It's like a tiefling-sized cloak
No, we've
and a
got,
gnome-sized cloak.
we've got a few of them.
How are we going to cover an entire ship?
No, it's not a ship. We're going to go over a rowboat. You can't hide a
Right,
ship.
right.
But if we're stealthing over, you're going to rowboat. You muffle the oars.
Maybe we could just fog our boat.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That's. Yeah, I like that.
Man,
So we
uses-
will have like a
They will
floating cloud over water.
do it
probably
do it
will
easy way.
notice the fog.
Yeah.
Just natural themis. Just keep it low, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, a little bit of phosphorescence will be cool. I'll make ocean noises. I don't know.
I think. So how long has it been since we actually got attacked?
4 hours. Alright. Can't use the fog until tomorrow.
Sorry, I was eating chips. Yeah, that's right. One today was this spell.
About that. Staves. Usually you can cast the spell in them
Mhm.
if it's on your spell list.
Mhm.
Fog's not on my spell list.
Didn't you
No.
fall?
So can I still use it? Or do I...
You mean it's not on the sorcerer spell list at
Yeah.
all? Wow.
Right. Yes, because it's imbued into the staff itself.
Alright,
Yeah.
cool.
Special
Right,
item
right,
test. Yeah.
Thank
So what's our?
Yes. What are you guys doing? Sorry, I got distracted by chips.
We don't have fog, so we can either find another way to sneak in, or we can wait until tomorrow and perhaps be better prepared.
I think darkness is better anyway.
Oh,
I need
yeah.
another short rest to be able to load up fog cloud, but I do have it.
So why don't we
Cool.
chill out on this island until early tomorrow morning?
Okay.
Then we'll have full spells back
Yeah.
Cool.
and advantage and
Before you do, you want to roll perception, please.
Yeah, perhaps we should scout this island first
yeah,
before we go to sleep.
especially as I got a
That's
one.
never-
Another 20. Cheater.
What the fuck? Is that 3 in a row?
Okay,
Wow.
you get 2 more. You've beaten my record.
Ooh.
4 in a row is my record.
Holy crap.
My
That's
DM
actually
actually took my die and just rolled it. You notice behind the clouds a shifting of black, triangular shaped somethings.
I point it out to everybody.
This time you guys see it.
Does it look like fins?
No.
above
Silhouette
the
like
clouds.
Yeah, just like drifting behind a cloud, you see this little like black silhouette.
Okay.
We did just see them flying on their island. Perhaps they just flew after us.
Triangular silhouettes. Like perhaps a dragon.
He levitated. He didn't fly, which I don't know. What the
Maybe
difference is
not. I
really.
would say that the height he was at, he probably flew.
It was just above a bubble. Anyway,
Some kind of flying beast. They could definitely be mounted in scouting though. They will be looking for us.
are they? Do they look from their movement like they're heading towards us, or that they've noticed us at all?
No, it's way off towards the horizon.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Oh, well, no, we'll keep an eye on it. You've got crew. What else are they for? There's a crow's nest. You can get up there and watch.
You can see now that the halfling is like clinging to the mast of the crow's nest as he stands up there.
I'm down for a bit of an island scout.
Cool. Everyone roll investigation.
How big is the island itself?
Not huge. A couple hundred feet across. Maybe.
Ah, net 20.
Natural 1 minus 1.
It's the first time we know it's from a 0. Did you get a 20?
No, I didn't.
I
I
got
got
an
an 11.
I got a 20.
Alright.
Yeah.
So, the other... Was that a nat 20?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fuck's sake.
See, this is the table you want.
Yeah, apparently.
So the rest of you go about scouting. Fate, you manage to find your way towards the centre of the island, where you come across a small, what looks like campfire, with 12 skeletons around it.
Oh, human-sized skeletons?
Human, half-elf, halfling,
Okay.
consultant.
I don't go too near. I get other people around because this is ominous.
Mhm.
And so I make sure that you're there, Druid person.
Do
And-
they
and
look
okay.
like they died like sitting as they were?
Yeah, pretty much.
Are their positions, are they around?
There is charred remains of possessions.
But like clothes and like coin purses on the ground. What am I after?
Roll some investigation.
Thank you.
Does it look like
Joining in.
a group of sailors set up camp here essentially and then just passed away while they were sleeping? Or
23.
13.
Cool.
So I'm just investigating all around if there's like weapons shoved through them or.
I'm shoving him out of the way and looking at everything that he's looking at. She, sorry.
23, man. Or what'd you get?
What?
What'd you get?
13, that's why I'm shoving you out of the way.
Ah, I got 23.
It's like
In
when your
total,
dog
you
is
find-
showing us something. What's that? What's
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in total, you find 25 gold.
Okay.
No, I
so-
find 25 gold, thank you.
You also find charred remains of weapons, broken weapons, melted weapons, melted armor, melted cloth, ash. Gorstag, eyes white, comes back. They were adventurers. He leans back.
And a dragon found them, I'm assuming, from the melted metal
Yeah,
and insta-death.
dragonfire.
So,
I could saw them talking. They were traveling. They were just looking for an adventure. He falls silent.
well, it's never a good idea to go out looking for just an adventure, right?
how many of them are there?
12.
Perhaps we could say a prayer for them and send them on the way to Paladin.
Gorstag nods and says a prayer from his upbringing in the Temple of Paladin.
I keep an eye on the skies.
While I
Yeah.
look at the bodies.
Perception, please.
There. 13.
Cool. You see a couple of birds go overhead.
Mm-hmm. I'll point this out.
Then you see a small green dragon. Very small. Flying towards the centre of the talent island.
Okay, I'll point that out.
You immediately start hearing from the island sound reaching further than it should as this wormling makes its way. As it gets closer to the island, you guys all kind of turn and you just see these columns of fire erupt from the centre of the island just into the sky. You in Draconic hear welcome, welcome, welcome as the dragon wormling flies and disappears into the island.
I think they might not be as opposed to dragons as they used to be.
Oh, that's not good.
Because they were chanting welcome, welcome, welcome.
That or they're controlled. What
Perhaps.
if they're like, if that wormling is controlling everything,
Mm.
they wouldn't exactly be saying fuck off, fuck off, fuck off.
True. They didn't say welcome to any of the other animals that are approaching either. But the dragon I saw attack
Throman
Throman.
was not a
Not
dragon wormling.
green. It was,
No.
it was red, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Black.
Oh,
red.
black.
I think it was black.
It was black.
Yeah.
So if there is a dragon controlling them, I doubt it's one of these wormlings. There would probably be something stronger that seems to be drawing the younger wormlings to it.
Well, is this
Presumably.
just a general drawing thing, or are they trying to find something specifically, or is it just summoning dragons and this is everything else you can pull along as well? Because that's a pretty
I think
shit
that
spell.
probably is it.
Yeah. So, like, we've got a lot of information. Throman is going to have a lot to digest once we go back and tell him.
We don't know what and why.
We don't know, but we can surmise pretty damn well. They're trying to get dragons here.
Well, it's like
Something.
you said. What if
Sorry.
they're controlled?
What something in there is trying to draw dragons.
Something is controlling a dragon.
That in and of itself.
Can I
stay
roll an
the fuck away.
Arcana check to see exactly on what level this kind of magic would be to,
Yeah.
to summon creatures from an entire continent?
Sure.
Like, 13.
It is not a spell you're familiar with at all, but the sheer magnitude of this must be some kind of powerfully ancient spell.
So like no... Is like the kind of power that like a mortal would have a lot of trouble casting? Like you'd
Roll.
need to be like
Roll history.
Ooh, 17.
Okay. There are the old religion, the Forgotten Gods. There are whispers of the fact that Elysia itself has a soul and an arcane spirit.
Yeah.
The kind of magic that you would assume would be calling this many creatures to a singular point would be the magic of the world itself.
Okay. I convey that to the party.
Does it tell us or mean anything? If the world's calling them here.
Is it the world calling them, or is it something controlling the power of the world?
It's
Like, is it possible for, like, say, a dragon or something to bend this magic to their will? Are there stories of that?
the world magic is generally one of the spirit of the world doing its own will. But
Would the Druid perhaps know more about this?
Just what I was wanting
yeah,
to do.
roll some history.
Okay, here. We've got 18.
There were religious sects and entire orders that would study world magic. It was what?
I heard that too, don't worry.
Yeah, it was an ancient form of magic that essentially was believed to be the birth of all arcane powers. But once people learnt to be able to control these powers themselves, the philosophy of it was taken from the world magic and put instead into the hands of the arcane users. That's where all the little groups and stuff, eventually all the mages guilds and stuff, sprang from. But there is the theory that the world magic will return one day, or that the spirit of the world will wake. And this kind of magic could very well be world magic that is part of that spirit, or it could be ancient magic long since lost that has now been reawakened.
So I convey that to the party at the same time.
And I suppose you want to find out what it is.
I want to find out what that is, of course. I don't necessarily want to stay here to do it. If it's world magic, we can do that back on the island, on the continent.
Here's a thought. There's summoning creatures.
Yeah.
You're a creature. You could find out stuff
true.
for us.
Ooh.
That's kind of genius, actually.
That's dangerous and you may not be able to get out, but yes.
No.
5 experience points.
But with a little inspiration, perhaps he could.
For a whole 10 minutes.
Yeah, you could achieve what we could not. Oh, it's only 10 minutes long.
Yeah, 10 minutes to use it, yeah.
Yeah. So that die of inspiration that I've been saving all this time.
That's only bards, I think the...
It depends if it's DM or bardic inspiration.
Yeah.
So seeing as we've had no bards yet, I assume that's DM
The
inspiration.
inspiration, which means advantage
still have it.
as choice.
Okay.
So you still have that.
So, but you could do a flyover of the island, I guess. You could do a nice.
No, I can't.
Oh no,
can't
sorry.
fly.
Sorry, no. Inspiration
Ah.
is you roll, and then you go. I'm gonna use inspiration, and you roll again.
You don't. Okay.
Yeah.
So add it down as you add a d6 to whatever you
There's a
roll.
difference
That's
between
different.
DM inspiration and bardic inspiration.
Yeah.
Ah.
Bardic inspiration is he gives you a d6 to add to any roll
Yeah.
for the next 10 minutes.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
But if I
DM
give
inspiration is something he can give you for being awesome.
Yeah.
And it means that you can make a roll
Yeah.
and then
Reroll.
go, I use my inspiration and reroll it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Change that so I actually know what the fuck I'm
That's
doing.
really annoying that they're both
They
called
should
the same
say,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's dumb, but
A swim around of the island? I don't know.
I can certainly do a swim around the island. I can do a crawl over the island if you give me a couple of days.
what if we drop you off there during the night and you turn into, say, a ferret or something,
Yeah.
and then just scout out the island like that?
They've got
I'm presuming something lizardy might be a little bit more palatable to them just in case.
Perhaps.
But either way, yes.
Depends, do you know what draconians eat?
Do you know what they eat? Roll history with
Do
disadvantage.
they eat ferrets?
Roll history with disadvantage.
Do they eat lizards?
I assume it would be very like a very high meat diet, but 5.
Dragonborn are unseen for 1100 years.
The island,
Yeah.
the main island,
Yeah.
it's not enormous, is it?
It's pretty big. It's not as big as a cast. It's an island.
But it's not big enough to, say, store, weeks and weeks worth of creatures coming from across a continent to a certain point.
Would be, yeah.
Really?
It's
Okay.
large island.
So these claws as well, were they
Remember,
by
only
the
flying
dock
and
you're heading
swimming
towards?
creatures can get
Yeah,
that.
so off the sides of the island there's just like cliff. Essentially there's
That's
this
why all these.
there's like
animals
the
are
the dock he came to
animals.
was about this big and it had stairs going up to the main island.
Yeah.
But then the rest of the island is like huge cliff, and the talons were coming out of those cliffs and black onyx.
Okay, do they touch the water or they just sit there?
No,
hovering
they're
above
just in the
top
sky.
of the-
They're like just hanging off.
Oh, okay, I thought there might be something that interesting that we could help us, but no, it's just some pretty cool sculptures.
Alright, so we wait until nightfall. What time is it now?
4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Wait until nightfall.
Couple hours.
We'll boat across.
Mhm.
I'll spider up.
Okay.
go through, see what I can find, come back. How long? I suggest no one waits around. So if we have another meeting point, say 24 hours or so.
How long can you stay in
I
best
know,
room
like,
As far as I know, it's indefinite.
Mm-hmm. Unless you take your full hit points worth of damage and then you revert.
Yeah.
I mean, because if we know that dark vision only, is only so good, we could just sail out 50 feet, 80 feet, but they can't see us.
We've already got the island. How far is the island that we're on?
A couple hundred feet from the main island.
Yeah, so
But
you just go back to the island and go around to the other
But
side.
if you need to run down and jump in the boat, we could be like right there waiting at the shore. Pretty much at the shore.
Okay.
Just outside of the shore.
Okay.
I think they will be expecting us to come from this side. They must have seen our ship come
Yeah.
this way. So
Yeah.
I think we row a while away and then hit from another angle.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So you're taking one of the smaller rafts?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright. The party clambers onto the raft on the side of the ship.
At nightfall.
At nightfall, yes. So you wait maybe 3-4 hours until it's dark enough to be hidden. And you start paddling. Everyone, just roll strength with advantage as everyone works together.
18 and 21.
Alright, so you
I'm using
managed
my
to...
mage hand for mine.
Yeah.
I don't work.
Fate's just like...
Yeah.
no, you guys, you managed to over-strengthen the currents and such, and the boat goes where you want it to. I do need everyone to roll stuff.
Oh boy. I think we have disadvantage in my armor, which I would be wearing at this
But
point.
you never put it back on, right?
Well, we hit land and we
Yeah.
plan on going to
23.
the island.
And did Dain put his armor back on as well?
Well, we're still on the boat, so I
We're
assume
still
no.
seeing water.
Yeah,
so
it
Wait,
actually
we just
sync,
sent you
right?
in, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Modified 20.
Don't worry about the disadvantage because you're on a boat, so it's not like you're not moving, so it's not making your armor's not making a sound.
Okay. Well, 11.
9.
Okay. The boat sails close around the side of the island. You can see more talons off the cliffs. You can see a different angle of the black onyx statue of the dragon in the center of the island. You see a couple of spiders and such crawling up the side of the walls.
Can we see any movement from dragon people?
Roll perception. Everyone can do that.
21.
Net 20.
Nice.
10.
You don't know that. Yeah, Fate's roguelike eyes just start scanning, and it's difficult to discern what is the movement of trees and such. Again, the fire leaf is now ablaze, and the perfectly symmetrical trees are there as well. But within that, you can see shifts, and you can certainly see a couple of hooded figures watching.
So I can tell that they can see us.
Mm-hmm.
I tell everybody they know we're coming. This isn't
This
stealthy.
is such a bad idea.
Yeah.
I just had a different idea. I can alter self and turn myself into one of them.
How long for?
An hour.
You can speak Draconic.
Yeah. Why don't you and I both go in?
It's, like, if I change myself now, they'll know it's me. Because they're watching us right now.
Yeah.
And you could like ride in on him or something because he can
That's-
do a swim speed.
I can give myself gills with alter self as well.
Oh, there you go. Sure.
Which is pretty sick.
Well, what I was thinking is you turn up, but I'm secreted in your robe somewhere as a
Mm.
spider or something.
I mean, they might be suspicious that we've tried twice and then a mysterious dragonborn appears. But
Do I remember very specifically how one of the guys looked that was casting at us?
Most of them had their hoods up.
Alright.
well, if they can see us, why don't we? You talk to them.
They're not attacking at the moment. They just watch.
Just
Oh, okay.
say hello.
I wave. Again. And in Draconic I say, like, how far away from us are they?
50 feet, 60 feet.
I say,
Wow.
greetings in Draconic.
Cool. So Arkyan, kind of, you guys have this like hush conversation. And then Arkyan raises his head. Guston Tista. And you hear in retaliation, Gungist, which means who are you?
Neverwinter's Nights, of course.
I am Arkyan Marjek of the Neverwinter Nights. We have come in peace to set up, or to see exactly what's happening on the island.
Distant. You bring peace and arrows?
The arrow, to be fair, was a very fair retaliation against a fireball. After we already said we came in peace.
You see, like the guy you're talking to, you can see these burning embers in his eyes as kind of like fire starts emanating from his eyeballs, and he kind of takes a few steps forward towards the cliff and takes a few steps off the cliff and is now just like standing in midair. And as he steps forward, you see a couple more blinking like lights of eyes wreathed in fire as they're kind of stepping out from the sides, from the shadows, and are now adorning the sides of this cliff.
Tell them we answer their summons.
We answered your summons for all creatures to come to this island.
Not all creatures, not you.
I definitely feel a strong calling at the moment. Just need to be here, you know, with you guys,
Roll,
my new friends.
roll some deception.
I don't speak Draconic, but can I aid him somehow?
You can have advantage. I did roll a nat 20 though. Just by the way,
You have advantage.
I rolled a modified 22,
you have advantage.
which would be higher than a 20. I could use luck as well. It's a modified 22. There's no like way I'm gonna roll that 20.
Yeah.
Well,
Pretty
yeah,
high.
that would have stats, but that would probably take it above 22 anyway, with a 20.
They
Make
don't have stats.
Make a wisdom save.
Luck, because that was a natural one. That is a 9.
9. You guys all see this swirl of blue light around Arkyan. And you feel it like right in your heart. You must now tell the truth. Why are you here?
We were sent to find out what was going on on these isles
By who?
by King Thromin of Neverwinter.
All of them start laughing.
It sounds like it's going well.
Yeah, totally. So well. I'm just gonna say I have to tell the truth. This is probably a good idea to start sailing away. So yeah, I was sent by King Thromin of Neverwinter. I myself had a vision of Neverwinter being attacked by a red dragon.
As you say this, the guy that you're talking to raises his hand and everyone else on the island stops laughing simultaneously. Silence. What?
You heard me. I see it's not such a humorous occasion anymore, is it?
Where was the dragon?
Neverwinter.
Um,
Blackwinter, sorry.
someone else steps forward and waves his hand, and you see immediately you recognise his druid craft. This ladder starts forming through vines on the side of the aisle leading up. His. We must talk.
Very well. And I levitate myself up instead of using the ladder.
Nice. 5 experience points just for being a badass.
Can I druidcraft another ladder and use my own?
5 experience points each again.
I assume my companions are welcome to join as well?
Of course.
I address them in common and say, do you speak any other languages?
The guy that Arkyan was talking to clearly does not understand.
Okay.
Someone steps next to him and whispers to him.
Dwarskian.
And the guy that whispers,
What did he say?
it is shit. Oh fuck, just hit it. Translate, essentially.
Alright.
So the guy that was whispering, he has comprehend languages.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to ask you what they said as well, and then just remind you that you saw the dragon, like in the flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So you might be interested.
They're waiting for you to climb up.
In common, I say that would be very hard to explain. The
Yeah,
fact
no,
that
I'm just-
you saw it in person like 2 weeks in the future.
That was 2 weeks in the future, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was in the future. That never happened.
It was on a cast though.
It was on your cast.
Is this still the truth? I climb
Well,
up.
the fact that it
yeah.
exists, we know that. It
Yeah.
definitely is around.
I climb up the ladder, trying to act as comfortable as I can.
Cool. As you climb up the ladder and get to the top, you can see it's maybe 100 of these guys, like dotted throughout the forest that adorns the side of the thing, and most of their eyes are glowing red. And the guy that was talking to Arkyan takes his hood off, and you can now see like the thick horns coming down to either side of his face, dark red eyes. He looks maybe 500 years old, something like that, with like dark red and black scales, and he's got this horrible long tongue and like these big fangs like down his throat, and his robe itself is quite nice. You're not wearing any armor, seemingly unnecessary for their purposes, but the cloak itself has these fineries of like silks and stuff woven through in these patterns that are like quite nice. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I climb up and act grumpy.
Yes.
This guy's red.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I ask him straight up. Is there a correlation between your colours and the chromatic dragons that we've seen?
And his friend like whispers into his ear, "Woost." No.
Okay.
Essentially, as the rest of you guys get up there as well, the guy puts his hood back up. He doesn't actually touch it; it just comes back over his face. And there's like this magical darkness that obscures his face, and he just says, "Follow," and starts wandering deep into the heart of the forest.
Wait, is this the same guy or a new guy?
Same guy. He says it in Dracon.
Yeah, but he puts up the hood and to hide his face after we've already seen it?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
He's mysterious.
You guys follow him?
Yes.
Excellent. He leads you deep inside the forest that is the edge of this.
I'm trying extremely hard to remember the way back.
Okay.
And also, is there still anyone in the boat?
Dain and Gorstag are with you. The crew members are going to stay behind and tend it.
Sweet.
You guys are led through a series of trees and stuff. Make a straight intelligence check to see if you can.
16.
Yeah, you manage to like just mentally map out everything that you can see and just go, okay, if we need to get out of here, it's that way, this way, this way. After a while, the forest stops and leads you to the side of this great wall of iron. The wall itself is probably even like more impenetrable than Black Winter or Stormforce or any of the castles you guys have seen. It's these long strands of metal that like rise right into the sky and end in these horrible like dragon claws that just go all the way around the side. The guy walks up and just puts his hand to it, poof, and there's just this essentially a dimension door opens, and he steps through. And on the other side, as you guys like tentatively enter, and as you like walk into the energy of the arcane, there's this shiver like across your bodies as you step forward. And within the walls, there are these black onyx great towers and glow leaf that's also fire leaf that's also like in these perfectly symmetrical trees that kind of adorn the sides of this place. And he just keeps doing this. He keeps walking up to walls after walls and just putting his hand to it until these like dimension door rifts open, and he leads you right through. You notice behind you these walls becoming solid every layer that you walk into.
So we're now stuck here. Where is he taking us?
We have no idea.
Maybe you can ask him.
They can understand everything we say, so be careful.
Well, yeah.
Good sir, I never actually got your name.
Name? I don't need one.
Is there something we can address you by, besides the lovely new dragonborn we've just met?
You can see that he's genuinely trying to remember his name.
Okay.
I'll just call you Bighorn.
We were just wondering, where exactly are you taking us right now?
To a meeting place to talk.
Talk.
To talk.
And just talk. Not perhaps like ritually sacrifice us or something.
They all start laughing.
Is it like good laughter or very dark laughter?
Oh, very dark laughter.
Oh, okay.
Oh god.
Thieves can't. What did they say?
We don't understand that.
No one else thinks these can.
No, he does.
No.
Oh, I thought you did. Damn.
No.
As we're going through, I ask the comprehend languages
Yeah.
guy whether or not I could take some samples of the fire leaf. Is that alright?
He mentions that every single leaf on this island is in its proper place and no one can disturb it.
Is that to know?
Eventually, you get to a final wall, and as you step through, you're no longer walking through these layers of this metropolis, this disconnected city way off in the far reaches of the corners of the world. But instead, you enter a room with a table maybe 100 feet around. And inside the middle of the table, there's all these inlays of gold and platinums that run like veins from each of the chairs around this table, and they all run into the middle, and in the middle there's this orb sitting in a draconic kind of like evil claw hand. And as you enter the room, it starts glowing, and all the metal that's inlaid on the table lights up, and it is now glowing like white bluish, and he just motions for you to sit.
Does this orb remind us at all of our orbs?
It's not that, it's much bigger,
Yeah.
and it doesn't seem to be the same kind of druidic, it's not druidic in nature.
Does it remind me of my eye? Because that's draconic.
Yeah, actually the glow of the metals
Yeah.
reminds you of your eye.
Right.
In fact, your eye is constantly drawn to the
Towards
metals.
Okay.
Yeah.
To the metals, not to the orb itself.
Right.
Oh, interesting. Right.
We've gone this far. I take a seat.
Cool.
I see, but I keep my axe on me.
Okay.
I take a seat and I put one of my hands on the metal running through the table,
Mhm.
and I see if I can sense the magical power in it.
Roll Arcana. With advantage because you're
A 20.
Ooh.
Not natural.
Okay. So essentially, you feel this rush, this hum, come from this metal that's now glowing. You put your hand on it, you feel just like your veins become part of it. You kind of almost like drawn towards the orb, but you kind of pull back, and the man without a name kind of turns and smiles and just says, "Ah."
Yeah, I glow at him a bit.
Yeah. Old magic.
The oldest, from what I hear.
So this is how you saw our lord, the dragon.
It was actually a different magical eye, apparently.
Do you have it with you?
No.
Where is it?
It's currently still on the mainland.
And he says something in Draconic, which is, remember that. He says, remember that to his friend.
Wait, am I still under the true spell or not?
No.
No, okay.
Presumably the
Your master, you said. From what I know of your history, surely you should not be subservient to dragons.
Dragon is the oldest power in the world. We follow that power. But we're not here to speak of myself and my deeds. I wish to know, what have you seen?
Many things. Fate took her top off last week. That was very exciting.
Tried to seduce the darkness once.
Almost worked.
Almost worked.
Can everyone at the table please make a Constitution save?
8.
Oh,
Yeah.
19.
11.
16.
Saving like a mother.
Everyone that rolled under 13 take 7 points of psychic damage, and everyone else take 4 points of psychic damage.
And I want to put my hand on the metal again. And this time when it starts drawing me in, I
Yeah.
want to try and draw something back.
Okay. So as you put your hand to the table, you
Very inconspicuously.
okay,
of course.
yeah, sweet. Get pulled towards the orb, and you try and pull back. The orb essentially is psychically. Well, roll Arcana again.
Disadvantage.
Yeah.
21 modified.
Nice. Yeah, the orb itself has been what's the word? Attuned to the Dragonkin, and essentially is just allowing him to cast freely whichever he wants. He's essentially watching you, and anytime you're untruthful or insolent, it's going to convert that into
That
psychic damage.
emotion into like a psychic power or something. Okay.
So essentially, he's trained this orb to be like a Pavlovian kind of response mechanism.
Can I go back into that same state that I was on the ship, where I'm viewing the orb as a ball of light that I'm moving into,
Yeah.
or my eye as a ball of light,
Yes, you can.
and draw the power from the orb on the table,
Cool.
and try and feed the eye with it?
Okay. Roll some Arcana. This is all happening in a few seconds.
With advantage?
Sure.
That's a 16.
Cool. You guys all notice Arkyan fall asleep and where he's sitting. He just hangs and he's asleep. The Dragonkin does not register that. He seems that's perfectly normal.
I demand of the dude, what have you just done to us and to him?
He's sleeping. You tell me. You saw the wings. Where?
Down on the continent.
He turns to his friend and says something in Draconic. However, your translator is no longer awake. That guy leaves the room.
We could take you there and show you if it's of such interest to you.
No need.
Okay. But you want to see this dragon, yes? He sounds like your lord.
We will. Arkyan. as you focus on this energy and
Yeah.
this orb lights with the same kind of arcane power. Clearly, this construction has been similar of your eye, and as it travels through and takes your mind, you're immediately pulled into this like pool of dark arcane sludge, and your form itself gets dragged through this current. And the current leads you to a place which you recognise to be Death Dark Temple.
Yeah.
But staring at the skies and the trees around you, notice this is several hundred years before where you are. And there's 3 guys sitting in a triangle, which from the book you imagine to be the 3 great necromancers. Essentially, they are speaking of a magic in Elven. And do you speak Elven?
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you speak
Sounds
Elven?
very sure of yourself.
He's freaking everything out. May as well.
The speaking
You
of
don't speak Dwarf and Gnomish.
There you go.
that's speaking of necromancy in the sense of spells to reawaken a dragon once a dragon has died. They dub this creature that they believe to be able to be created as a Dracolich. And essentially what they're doing is talking of how to get their power to a level where they can summon a Dracolich.
Awesome.
The energies and the powers that they're using have been draconic in nature. In fact, the veins of arcane from the world magic of the ancient dragons seems to be a pulse that comes around every so often. Every couple thousand of years, there's a draconic energy of pulse. And that was what awoke the dragons in the Age of Dragons, and thousands of years before that, and so on and so on. Essentially, they are talking about how the dragons are the cleansing of the world, something that Alicia needs to create to make itself be able to keep developing, culling certain parts of the world. And they reckon that if they were to harness the energy and create a Dracolich, they could create the most destructively evil and powerful creature ever known to mankind. And this cleansing would essentially wipe the world in flame forever. And his eyes come back as he's now sitting at the table.
Good nap.
Pretty trippy.
You feel
Good dreams.
you feel talons sink into each of your shoulders as these 2 guys put their hands and like blood starts trickling. What did you see?
So many things.
Tell me.
I just smile at him.
Make a wisdom save. Zone of truth.
Doesn't require me to answer.
It's true. But as he asks the question, the talons dig deeper into your shoulders.
I stand up and shout, "What do you want from us? You brought us here and now you attack us! You said we were talking."
We are. But you're not. Tell us.
I'll talk of my own volition.
And the 2 talons get released and the 2 guys step back.
Now, I'm still under the true spell, right?
Mhm.
Now, we have not originally come here to start conflict or war with you. We have simply been sent to find information as to what's going on. It's all we need. It's all we want.
Very well.
You are obviously performing some form of magical rite. It is none of our business what exactly it's leading to or what you want. But we are not here under the guise of war.
Okay, roll persuasion.
Perhaps for a nation that has been so long secluded from the world, if you're seeking to make a re-entry, some allies would be of good use to you. And that's 21.
Nice.
DC was 19 on that.
Ooh.
We do not wish to rejoin the world which turned its back so coldly on us. But if you want information, I'm more than happy to oblige. I want to show you something.
Show me.
He stands and he wanders out. You guys follow?
Yes.
Can I insight check him and see if he's being malicious?
What's your bonus?
2.
You don't know. He leads you outside, up some stone steps and out into a courtyard of which is surrounded by guys in hoods that are chanting, and all the fire leaf you can see have fallen from the trees and they're swirling around in this vortex of fire leaf in the centre. In the centre,
Any fire leaf that's not in the vortex?
no, it's all been swirled around in a vortex, but a vortex which all the leaves are perfectly spaced. And whatever's carrying them is carrying them all at the same kind of... There's essentially rotating circles of fire leaf. As you guys watch, you can see that the black veins in the fire leaf, like the tendrils and stuff, are actually almost like rune symbols. These ancient little words and letters inscribed right into the leaves that are swirling around. In the centre, you can see the wormling that you saw, and it's curled up. And the man without a name leads you through, and just in Draconic says, "Begin." And two of the hooded figures step forward, and they cast something, you're not sure what, but the wormling freezes into place. And this guy pulls out a dagger and just slits the throat of the wormling as it can't move, and eventually it dies. And then, now! Those two guys step back, and four other hooded figures step forward and join hands, and they start chanting in a language that none of you guys know. But Arkyan, your eye just starts burning intensely in your head, and as this wormling kind of shivers a little bit, you see this horrible eating of flesh as the face of this wormling just rots and becomes skeletal, but then some of the flesh regains, and its wings kind of branch out and the bones poke through its skin, and then some of the skin is like dangling, and then the other wing does that as well, and it just looks up, and it's got this horrible like dead look in its eyes, and it just and this like cloud emanates, and the man without a name just says, "It's our magic now." And that's where we're going to end the game tonight. The party finds themselves on the Talent Isles in the midst of some dragonborn sorcerers who are casting some dark, dickish magic. Yeah.
Scaly fucks, I said.
But you guys have at least completed your mission, in fact, that you've gathered some information.
I told you, man.
Whether or not you'll be able to leave with your lives and deliver that information is a completely different matter. But thank you guys so much for watching tonight. We'd like to dedicate this episode for Leonard55 for being there throughout the stream. We really love that. And thanks for the donation towards the battle cam. Hopefully we can get that bought in the next while.
We're 28% of the way.
28% of the way.
Thanks, guys.
Remember, we've got Facebook now, D20 Multiverse. We're on Twitter, at the D20verse. We're on YouTube. We now stream these games on YouTube. If you prefer to watch there, go for it. Don't forget me and Dave's show, NPCs of Taldore, reviewing and recapping Critical Role each week on our YouTube panel. We do Dragon Tavern. There's podcast coming soon. Oh, exciting. And, of course, my other game, Eyes of Alicia, which the next episode is in 3 days. And it'll be right here on the same channel at a different time, though, because it's a different time, but there's all that kind of stuff. Our Discord link is in the descriptions. Honestly, from the bottom of my DM heart, thank you guys so much for being out there and watching and engaging with us in chat, because it really just makes, we do this for the fun of it, and it's just nice that you guys are out there watching and enjoying it as well.
And I thank you, Matt Mercer.
And yeah. Obviously.
Oh, I'm going to hear about that.
That's all we're going to hear about for the next month.
I have to live with it.
Yeah. Yeah. The old ego. Oh, it feels good.
Next thing you know, next week will be the mercenaries.
Yes.
No. I was so calling it's like just by the critical role things, like you're just Taliesin.
Yeah. I am not Taliesin.
Oh, you're the druid. You're Keyleth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Why are you not Taliesin? Taliesin's cool.
So thank
Shut
you.
up, Grog.
Hey, I would be.
You'll be Grog.
You'd be Grog.
No, what was the fucking sorcerer's name again? In this game, I'd be Tiberius. In the other game,
Tiberius. Well, you're going to leave halfway through for an argument.
Are we still streaming?
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys so much out there in the internet cybersphere. We hope to see you again next week. Leonard, Gamature, all you guys out there are absolute legends. Damon, I think, was in the chat as well. Thank you guys so much. Good night, and may the dice roll ever in your favour.
Bye.